I told you. What did I tell you guys? I said, don't bet against Jurassic World. It doesn't matter how bad the reviews are. It doesn't matter if it's mid. Doesn't matter. It does not matter. These movies somehow are Teflon. And this movie has already made almost $400 million worldwide. Just like that. So breaking records. You just can't bet against, you don't bet against James Cameron. You don't bet against Jurassic World. You just don't. And it looks like it's going to really crush. The question is, how much money in week 2 is going to be hit with Superman coming out? The social embargo drops tonight for that movie. The review embargo drops tomorrow for Superman. So tons of stuff is going to be happening. I'm seeing it tomorrow. Rocha's seeing it today. There's tons of things that are happening with Superman. There's tons of stuff that James Gunn's already seeing. Said doesn't have to make $700 million. Said that's not true. Doesn't have to. Also, a few other things. And Mike Kalinowski and Rocha erupted in a Twitter war. Two friends who could easily call each other fighting all over social media. Makes sense? No. But we're going to talk about that and a lot more here today on the show. So thanks for joining me on the Kristian Harloff Show here today on this Monday. I hope you had a great holiday weekend. It's me and Rocha. Let's do it. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Kristian Harloff here on this Monday. Joining me, you might know him from the other side of the Kalinowski Rocha beef on Twitter.
What?
John Rocha is here. Hello, Rocha.
Me and my hate boner are hanging out here in San Diego.
What are you guys doing? Why are you doing this on Twitter?
I didn't do anything. Michael reached out to me because I posted about the Gunn comments, the latest nonsense from James Gunn saying the Superman doesn't need to make $700 million in order to be a success, which is ridiculous to say that on the eve of the film coming out. And then Michael said, why do you have such a hate boner for this movie? First of all, I've said nothing negative about the movie, just talking about some of the stuff around crypto or the robots. But overall, I've been very positive about the footage I've seen. If you watch my trailer reactions, hell, I even predicted James Gunn would take over the DCU on the hot mic 2 years ago. So like, to me, I don't understand why people are mad that I'm pointing out some inconsistencies.
Wait. Stop.
Go ahead.
You can't say you don't understand why people are mad.
You have been,
John Rocha. You've been going at this man.
Right. But I've been rightfully calling him out. That's the way I don't understand it.
But you don't think rightfully is subjective here?
I don't. I think there are some things that are facts.
All right.
And I think some things you can say, like, well, why would you say something like this?
Okay.
Why are you saying this when we know the truth is something opposite? So to me, that's where I get a little bit of the kind of like, I don't understand how people are not seeing this stuff. And I think people have their Gunn rose-colored glasses on and they refuse, and ear plugs, and they refuse to hear any kind of negativity about the things he's saying.
I don't think that there's no truth in that. I don't think that there's not.
Thank you. Thank you for
I don't. I don't think that there's. I absolutely. We and that's not just with James Gunn. That's any fandom that we've talked about many times over. That there's people who say, "How dare you say these things about it? It means that you hate everything." Dude, I just got that for Ironheart. I had one guy. Right?
Oh, you're racist if you don't like us.
100%. The guy was like, "I wonder why it's okay if white Tony Stark is in a cave." And I guess I said, I wrote back, I'm a boo. I said, "Boo for you for writing that." Boo. I said, "That's where you have to go with that." Boo, sir.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can say I don't agree with your analysis. I don't agree with this. I don't. But boo that you have to go there just because you like it and I don't. Boo to you. But nonetheless, there are people who just like, look, and I've gotten it. I've gotten on both sides of Superman. That either I'm a shill for DC, I want to see everything, or I hate everything about it, and I'm a Zack Snyder, all that stuff. That's come in. We've talked about that many times over, right? Well, so what I'm saying, I agree with you that portion comes to it, but you have also been in a spot to where I even said to you last week, it does seem to me that you are going after Gunn a little bit more than other people you've gone after past. You don't like his ego, you don't like these things. You go after him a little harder than you do normally on other people, or maybe The Rock. You go on maybe.
No,
I don't know, as hard.
You say I go after people. I say I'm not. I'm a consistent person. If you are saying dumb stuff or saying lies or saying things that aren't 100% true, I'll say that 100% true. I don't want to accuse somebody of lying. Then yes, I'm going to call you out. And I don't care that I'm a fan of yours or not. That's why I pride myself on the consistency of that. I don't defend people just because they're my friends or my family. If they're wrong, they're in the wrong. I'm going to call them out. I've been a fan of James Gunn's movies since Slithers of like, I have enjoyed his movies for years, but the way he's been rolling out Superman to me, there's a lot of double talk.
Okay.
There's a lot of
said to you though, but it is subjective. You said, so you just said,
I'm sure everything is subjective. I'm sure other people look at what he's saying and go, that's logical. That makes all the sense in the world. That's fine. But I think The Rock is the same thing. Let me tell you how Black Adam made money. And it's like, well, when people are lying, you have to call them out, and you can't be caught up in your fandom. If you were pulling crap, I would call you out. Like, this is just kind of how I'm built. So, you know, people want to hate me if they want, but I like to think that's consistent.
I mean, you have been consistent with this. There's no doubt about it. You've been consistent. I know.
Perhaps, but I did praise him the other day. I did say when James Gunn responded about the movie, I said, God, I hope we get the movie that James is talking about, because I would love to see that movie. So I said that in a positive way to try to balance it out, because people are so crazy about it. And maybe
know how you're gonna.
But I've been more positive about it.
You know, you can't win in this situation.
No, of course not.
Movie tonight. When you see this movie, people are expecting you to hate this movie. So if you don't like this movie and you don't,
and even if I do like it, they'll be like, "Well, he's just saying that for whatever." So yeah, there's no winning on this.
Yeah, but I think you lose less if you hate it, because I think that people, I mean, more. I think you hate you lose more, but just because people are I'm expecting you to hate it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'm
seen nothing of the film that I hate other than some of the crypto stuff. That's the thing. If you go back and watch the trailer reactions, I'm so positive about Corn Sweat, positive about the action, positive about Brosnan and Nicholas Hoult. Yeah, I have no complaints. So
look, I also don't think you're not one of these people that you're going to go in with your arms folded and a pouty face. Like, if you like it, you like it. But I think that there's something that you just don't like in general about what James Gunn is doing, and I think that's going to live in there. I think that's going to live in there in the movie, and I think it's going to be harder for you to dive into the film. I could be wrong, but it just feels like that.
As people know, and you're going to see in the Geek Buddies episode later today, I know people who know him, and they say he's an asshole. And I know people who know Zack Snyder, and they say he's a great guy. So there's a difference. And so you see that. So what we're seeing now is something that I think James has kind of been sitting on for a while. And now because it's easy to hide behind Kevin Feige and the shield of Marvel. Now you're the front man. And when you're the front man, all your stuff comes out. And so I think that's what you're seeing in his behavior. He's got a little bit of the goalpost moving, a little bit of the convenient double talk.
Yeah.
And if this film underperforms, I don't know how he's going to handle it, you know?
So to push back a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Please.
I can also say that I know some people who know him, and I hear that he's a great person. So it's like, it's always again, subjective, right? And it depends who you're talking to. It depends on what day they caught the person on. Maybe if he was a great person and he had an asshole day, that your friend caught him on that day, or the vice versa, that he was in great
these people have worked with him. It's not a one day.
You're saying working in general. I'm talking about people who hang out with him constantly and like know him well. So and every actor that's worked with him likes working with him. Right, at least the ones that I know.
You can say that for Snyder. Yet people come after Snyder.
Sure. I'm not.
The irony is the same people who are coming for me for the gun and saying, "Why you hate on him so much? Why you dick munching?" Are the same people who have doing that to Snyder for 10 fucking years. Like, seriously, take a look in the mirror. Like, for God's sakes, look at yourself and be like, "Oh yeah, I was doing the exact same thing. Why was it okay when I was doing it, but I'm mad at him for doing it?"
This movie. But I will say though. I don't buy into the fact that I know you and Snyder talked about it last week, because we covered it on the show, where you guys were talking about the opening weekend numbers, right? And what Snyder said that I gave him credit for, right? He said, "Look, tracking is bullshit." He's like, you don't know what he's like. Look, I heard it 175 at one point. I heard 85 at one point. I heard this, I heard that. He's like, you can't tell, because I keep using Minecraft. No one expected Minecraft to have that opening weekend, right?
Sure,
but I think. I'm just saying, I think the conversations that we're having right now, and even talking to my friend today, who I see, who's just a casual person, is like, I was walking around the city, all I saw was Superman stuff. Superman's going to do well. It's going to do very well. It's not going to underperform. It's going to hit that $600-700 million. It's going to perform.
Yeah, but okay.
Go ahead.
I think you have to do more than 700 with the way you've presented this film. And that's why I took issue with James Gunn's comments, because I'm like, that makes no sense. This is Superman. And to push back a little on what Kalinowski said on the tweet, this isn't Iron Man. This is Superman. This is the crown jewel of DC. This side of, you're not going to start a DC universe off Batman's back. You're going to start it off Superman's back because that's a 4-quadrant film. And that's what you want kids and adults and grandparents and all. They all know Superman. They know what Superman stands for. And so if you decided that I am going to direct this film, and I know how he presented that Peter Safran begged him to do it, whatever. But if you are going to direct this film and you have a proven box office track, everybody over the weekend was like, James Gunn don't miss. Shut the fuck up. James Gunn makes $800 million. Okay. If that's your reasoning, then you can't turn around and say, well, if it makes 600, that's totally fine. That's inconsistent logic. If you're telling me the reason it's going to explode and do well is because he's done well with all his superhero films before, then you can't come at me and tell me that it's nonsense to expect it to make more than $700 million. That doesn't make sense. And so I'm looking at it in that, I'm using their logic. And that's the thing. Even they are pushing back on their own logic, which makes no sense.
I guess so. I guess for him, the way he's looking at it is with his production budget in general, right? Because I think that what it does come to, where I will agree with Mike Kalinowski in the Iron Man section of it, because I also agree with you. The IP of itself at the time, Iron Man did not carry the weight that a Superman. 1,000%. Yeah. But to defend Mike, even though he's not here, and what I would assume is it has the weight of Iron Man in starting a cinematic universe.
But no one knew they were starting a cinematic universe.
No, maybe not.
They do now.
Well, they had it was the inception of it. It did. Right. They did know they were starting it because they had Nick Fury talking about the Avengers. So,
but they could have fallen apart if that film had not done well.
Of course, but that doesn't take away from the weight of it. It's the weight is still there. But they both are launching something, and this has the Superman power behind it. But I think that what it also has, is that look, James Gunn's looking at it as like, for me, I know what I spent on this movie production-wise, and I know how badly Warner Brothers needs this movie to succeed. Yeah. They are putting in a significant amount of marketing into it, to which we knew that we needed as well.
Probably $200 million.
Maybe so. And I think that he's looking at it, I need to make my production budget back. That's what I need to make back. And I think that's what he's looking at inside of that $700 million, right? So if the
why even say that? Like, but why even?
Maybe you shouldn't. That's a different conversation.
You shouldn't say anything.
Maybe.
You know, I mean, that's the problem with all of this is that where is David Cornsweet? Where is Rachel Brosnahan? Where is Nicholas Hoult? Why are you taking center stage? These three should be taking center stage, just like Fantastic Four. Do you catch Matt Shackman or Feige rolling out there making all these comments? No, it's Pedro, it's Vanessa, it's Joseph Quinn. It's other people who are people cover. Did it have Matt Shackman on the cover, or was it the 4 actors? It was the 4 actors. The Rolling Stone cover. Who was on the cover? Oh, it was fucking James Gunn. That's the thing you look at is like, it's a little bit like, let the actors do because everything Cornsweet and Brosnahan have said about the movie, it is charming. It is fantastic. It's great. It sells the movie.
I know, but I think that also the argument again could be made at this point where you're at with Marvel, right? You're so far along with Marvel, and Marvel has spoke for itself. Granted, they're needing to have a comeback, and the Fantastic Four is promoting those 4, where the story of this franchise at the moment is the manager of the baseball team. It's the story. James Gunn is the story. He really is. He's the story. Whether you like the fact that he's the story or not, which
he has made himself the story. He has made himself the story.
I think a lot of people have made himself the story. I think that even you talking about him has made him the story. I mean,
that's fair. But I'm only talking about him because he's out here talking. If he wasn't saying anything,
but he's made himself the story. You are helping the story, and because of that, people are clicking on the interviews, and he's becoming the story, and maybe rightfully so. He's promoting. You use your promotion.
Yeah, or wrongfully. It depends.
Or wrongfully. We'll have to see with the opening weekend. You know.
I think the PR rollout has nothing to do with the quality. Again, nothing to do with the quality of the film.
Yeah,
got to put again. I clarify this because Kalinowski's tweet was so weird. He could have texted me, but he decided to go.
I tried to get him on the show to have you talk to him, but he's not around. I don't think
he has my number. We've been friends for 20 plus years.
It's hilarious that he went after you.
And I think it's funny. It's funny. The guy who co-hosts DC News is going to come at me saying that I'm biased. I think that's funny. But like you look at this whole thing and you're like, come on, it's very clear what is going on here to me.
Yeah.
And if people are like, someone wished death on me on Twitter, and I retweeted that, and it was like, come on, guys, it's just an effing movie. He's just a director. He's flesh and bone, just like you. and he is not. He's not impervious to criticism. I don't think any creative is impervious to criticism.
Right.
And I don't think I'm going like you're saying. I'm obsessed with him. I'm not talking about.
I didn't say you're obsessed. I didn't say obsessed. I said that you're to me, knowing you as long as I do, you are to me going after him. It seems like more than I've seen you go after other people in the past.
Well, I think other people have spoken just as much as James Gunn, but they haven't said as much doublespeak or bullshit or convenient goalpost moving stuff as he has said. And I think if they had, you'd have seen me go. I don't want to make that comparison because people are going to think I'm making a comparison, but like there have been people in the past, like when I was at Collider, I went after Bryan Singer all the time for the bullshit that people, but I'm not comparing what I was going after Bryan Singer, but like when people do wrong, I'm not afraid to call them out.
But I think that's the difference. Okay, but I know that you didn't want to use that example, but because you did, the difference I think in a situation like that is that what was going on at the time, the majority at the time. I know, but the majority of people, when you hear the things and the allegations and things that are going on at that time, that's like people are gonna
of course,
right. But as opposed to a movie that hasn't come out, you haven't seen the movie yet, and you still haven't let it.
And I'm not saying anything about the movie, by the way. Been very clear.
But would you? Okay, so here's another side of this. If this movie winds up crushing, going way past that 700 million, and hitting close to $1 billion.
Great.
Would you then say, "Hey, look, maybe I was wrong here"? Maybe fact that, no, you wouldn't.
No, not at all. Whether the movie is whether the movie is, and I don't mean again like to you, I'm saying to the people who are saying this, whether the movie is a success or not is irrelevant to my feelings about how he's been rolling out the PR. Okay. Bobby Knight was a success as basketball coach. Did I like that he was choking his players and throwing chairs across the hall? No, I didn't. But he got the results. But again, so it depends on your point of view. Do you like the results or do you not like them? Okay, fine. Davey Johnson. I didn't like Davey Johnson. He was a prick, but he got the best out of his teams when he was coaching the teams, right? But I didn't like him. He was an utter prick. So you look at the situation. It's the same thing for me. If I go sports connection, like look, Tarantino has had some, for me, made some inappropriate comments about women. He's done some inappropriate things to female actresses on his sets, putting his hands, choking Diane Kruger in Inglourious Basterds. That's his hands you see in the movie. Okay. Those are things that I did not, and I've called him out on it. The saintly, hallowed Quentin Tarantino. I don't have the hero worship other than Tom Cruise. I mean, honestly, I'll be admit, I let Tommy get away with murder. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
you let The Rock go for a long time.
Well, I didn't see the stuff like other people did until I saw it. But that's the thing. I'm not afraid to call anybody out. I'm not caught up in hero worship, and I get that other people are, but that's for them. And so I'm not afraid to do it. And so and people may hate me for it, but I pride myself on the fact that I'm not afraid of any of these creatives or, don't say anything negative about this person. I would have to force amazing for Killers of the Flower Moon.
I know, but I guess for me right now is I just don't, look, clearly I know you well enough. You're not just making this stuff up. This is how you feel. Yeah. I just don't feel that this criticism is warranted yet, in my opinion.
Well, because you think the results matter.
I do.
The results, and I do not. That's why we're different in that.
Agreed.
And look, I hope the movie does. I hope the movie is great and people love it, because we do need a good Superman movie. I think with everything that's going on in the world, especially with what happened in Texas, the sadness that's going on in Texas with all those lives, people want a place to escape into, a Superman movie they can believe in. Mm-hmm. And I hope this is what people get. I hope I like the movie tonight. I know half the audience probably doesn't believe me. I want to like the movie, and I hope I do like the movie. But if I don't like the movie, it's because I authentically didn't like the movie. And if I do like it, it's because I authentically liked it. And so,
Oh my goodness. What a way to start. Put your thoughts in there. What do you make of all of this? What do you make of the James Gunn conversations thus far? What do you make about criticisms, if they are just, are they unjust? What do you think about friends settling things on Twitter instead of calling each other like human beings? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. We do have a lot of great stuff going on today. We're talking about this Jurassic World thing in just a second here, and then I have a great interview today that I did with a good friend of mine, Andrew Freed, who's been on the show. Welcome to Wrexham, the Val doc. You're a Val Kilmer fan. We talk about how that Val thing came about and how he tells some great stories about Val Kilmer, some other things that'll be in just a little bit. And we're going to take your questions right now. You're standing at 18 questions. John won the week last week. Yeah, 18 is pretty good for the first one. But let's get into this box office stuff, guys, because I told you all. John doubted me. Everybody doubted me.
Well, you're not right, by the way. We're going to have a discussion about this.
I don't know. You think it's going to be too big of a drop off with Superman?
No, I'm telling you, it didn't perform as well as you think it did. So let's have the conversation.
Internationally, I disagree. But let's talk about it. While Jurassic World Rebirth has dominated the box office headlines of this July 4th holiday weekend, it seems numerous records are falling all over the place. Let's start with Jurassic, which is now headed for $318.3 million by the end of Sunday. That is the biggest worldwide opening of the year for a studio film so far, and the second best start for the franchise. And overseas, only, not domestic, it has pulled in $171 million, making it the second biggest opener for the franchise and the second biggest international box office opener of 2025, behind China's Ni Za 2. In China alone, the film snagged $41.5 million since its opening on Wednesday, the biggest studio movie opening of 2025, and has already outgrossed films like a Minecraft movie, Lilo and Stitch, in those markets. Domestically, the film's estimates keep going upward. 3-day at $91.5 million and 5-day now at $147.3. The success of the movie has also impacted its leading star actress Scarlett Johansson, officially becoming the highest grossing actor of all time at the global box office. It's not the only movie making headlines. F1 is coming in second domestically with a 3-day at $26 million, drop of 54 in its second weekend. The film's worldwide total stands at $293 after 10 days release, overtaking Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon to become Apple's highest grossing movie to date. Coming in third, How to Train Your Dragon, which is headed for $11 million for the 3-day and its 4 weekend. Title has now grossed 224 stateside and has become the highest grossing film of the franchise domestically. Ilio and 28 Years Later are closing out the top 5 domestically with $5.7 million and 4.6. Both films sadly have not the kind of legs that were hoped for. All right, first things first. Let's talk about I'm going to bring up why you can give your spiel on why you think this movie is not performing as well as they're making out to be, and I'm going to look up the full numbers on Box Office Mojo.
Well, I'm telling you the numbers right now.
Okay.
The movie made $300-something million, right, over 5 days. That's what it is. Now, according to numerous box office things, Fallen Kingdom began with $181.81 million domestically. Okay. Dominion wasn't far behind with 172.5. And at this point, Rebirth is tracking, it could already rank behind Spielberg's original 1993, which dropped just 18.2% to a second weekend of 38.4 million. Right? What I think people are caught up in is that nobody thought this movie was going to blow up as much as it did. Well, I mean, you thought it was going to do well, and I guess there were a couple of people who thought it was going to do, but nobody thought about 300 million. That's a super. It blew away all the predictions and tracking that people had initially. But the 3-day weekend was only $91.5 million. Now, it opened over a 5-day weekend, but over the traditional 3-day weekend, it only made 91.5.
Yeah.
And as I said, Jurassic World, which initially produced the reboot of the classic, made $208 million over 3 days. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, yes, domestically, $148 million over 3 days. And then Dominion, $145 million over 3 days, all domestic. Right?
Sure.
And after 5 days, Jurassic World had garnered $258 million domestically, $181 million for Fallen Kingdom, and Dominion $172 million. So domestically, it is not. It is tens of millions of dollars behind those 3 films. So
I don't disagree.
I think it's great that it did this well, but I think it's more Bumblebee in the type of movie to the Transformers films, or Hobbs and Shaw to the Fast and Furious films. And in that context, it did well, but I don't think it's going to challenge what those previous Jurassic World movies did.
It still has a shot to hit big numbers because of what I've been saying since the beginning of this thing. And it's the international number. I don't disagree with you at all that it is. If you're looking at domestic numbers, it's not like the high gross. But I'd like to also see the comparison, as you just mentioned. What's the comparison with the international numbers of those movies that you just did, right? Because that's the thing, is that these movies, for some reason, they are Teflon internationally. It's like people just want to see dinosaurs. They don't give a crap about what people are saying and subtitles and all those things. They just don't care. It's about the damn dinosaurs, and they will continue to make money. I can't believe that the last 2 Jurassic World made over $1 billion. That's why don't count these things out. And it's the international number that, to me, is the whole reason that things are a success at all. Because as you said, it's 5 days. That's not a super impressive number, and compared to the other ones. But like I said, I wonder what the comparisons were to international. Do you have those numbers?
I'm looking them up right now.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll get them, but I'm looking them up right now.
Okay. Because I still think this movie has a good shot. But here is also the difference. The difference is that it's got now 2 heavyweights coming in to knock it right on its ass. Yeah. But with international, I don't know how big internationally Superman will do good. I don't know if it's going to do great internationally. I don't know if Fantastic Four will do great internationally. They might do decent, do well. I still feel out of the 3 of them, internationally, Jurassic World will do the best. I think domestically, it's going to be 3rd place. But internationally, I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think it will do well internationally. And listen, just because it isn't matching the Jurassic World Dominion trilogy or Jurassic World trilogy numbers doesn't mean it's still not a good number for Rebirth to hit, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think a lot of people thought $300 million was remotely a possibility. And the fact that it has speaks to the attention of that the brand still gets from moviegoers, both internationally and domestic. The question becomes how it does in the next 2 weeks. Because as you said, the 2 heavyweights coming in, but also the film is not being reviewed very well. And there's a lot of fans.
Were the other ones?
No, and that's the thing. But there's also, I think there's more of the fans who are saying negative. Like you got a B cinema score or something like that, which none of the Jurassic World films I think got anything lower than an A- on their movie scores coming out. So that's a problem. And I think it will catch up with them this weekend and next weekend. And if this thing breaks 500, if it doesn't break 600, I won't be surprised. If it doesn't break 500, I kind of won't be surprised. But
really,
it probably is going to land between 5 and 6. Yeah, because I think Superman is going to come out, and depending on word of mouth, and certainly if there's going to be DC fans who are like, no matter what, we're going to go see this movie multiple times because I want to support it. Look at Aquaman doing $1 billion or Aquaman 2 doing $400 million. No one thought that was going to happen with that lame duck movie, and it did. So DC fandom is strong in the movie going experience.
You still owe me a steak dinner, which we know.
Which we for what now?
Deadpool Wolverine. That's been collected.
That's true.
Collected.
I misunderstood the effect that movie. But then look at that then, because people are saying to me nowadays, it's like on Twitter, there's in today, like it's not the same box office like it was before. It's like Deadpool and Wolverine just made $1 billion.
It did.
Tell me Superman can't make a fucking $1 billion, but Deadpool and Wolverine can make $1 billion.
It's spectacle movies. There are some movies that are going to be hard to prop up, but spectacle movies can still make $1 billion, especially with ticket prices going up. So I will tell you that if you want to go double or nothing on,
I'm never betting again with you.
That's fair, because I will tell you, I think Jurassic Park definitely clears 700 for.
You think 700 million by the end of its run?
By the end of its run, it's a 700 million worldwide. You want to do double or nothing? It's a good bet. Come on, John. You just said you're never going to do it, but I'm putting you on the spot.
But it can't be an expensive steak dinner. It has to be like.
Give me a break.
I mean,
I'm gonna collect both of them the same week when I come visit. That's what I'm gonna do.
2 steaks in one day. No, we should be doing that.
Or how about this? Or we can do we can just add.
No, I'll take it.
You take it?
I'll take it. Yeah.
Take it. All right. Double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
You heard it here, folks.
Jurassic World Rebirth will not
700. So all it's got to do is clear 700 million.
Yeah,
that's it by the end of its run.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. We did it.
Okay.
So let's see what's going to happen. I think you just made another stupid bet.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
What do you guys think about all of this? What do you think about the box office? What do you think about Jurassic World in general? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Okay. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up. I'm going to tell you guys, I've told you about Hydro. I've told you about Factor. I'm going to tell you about both of them right now. And I'm going to tell you, again, one of my favorite people in the world is Andrew Freed. The things that he has done, he has accomplished, whether it's Chef's Table, Cheer, Welcome to Wrexham, the Valdoc, more and more and more. I'm going to tell you, I had a conversation with him talking about him. He's a very, very entertaining guy. And I'll tell you that if you want to be in this business, this is the person to listen to. But let me tell you about all these things. I'll be right back. All right. Cool. Perfect. Man, summer is here. I'm excited for it. It is time to relax, get some sun, do all the things that make summer really, really special. And the number one thing that you don't want to be doing all summer is spending hours upon hours cooking. This is what I love about Factor. Factor has chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals already. They're just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. So there's 45 weekly menu options. You can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains, your goals, choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. I've told you since I have been going to the gym, since I've been trying to focus on health, Factor has been instrumental in helping me do it. I use it, and you should too. So, if you want to get Factor, and you should get Factor, get started at Factor with factormeals.com/Kristian50off, but use that code Kristian50off to get 50% off, plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Kristian50off at factormeals.com/Kristian50off for 50% off, plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/Kristian50off. Warm weather hits suddenly. I'm juggling vacations, there's visitors, zero routine. Hydro brings me back to that structure so I can get quick, efficient workouts that keep me feeling grounded no matter what my calendar looks like. So for Hydro, if you didn't know, I've been telling you guys, I've been going and working out 4 days a week, but I need other things sometimes when I can't get to the gym. And I've been really loving Hydro. There's one thing that I love, you never get bored. Hydro's got tons of workouts with actual Olympians, and they're filmed in these gorgeous outdoor spots all over the world. It makes it way easier to stay motivated. Doesn't matter if you're training hard or just trying to stay active. Hydro really meets you where you're at. It's low impact, so it's easy on your joints, but still gives you that perfect mix of strength and cardio. If you're on the fence, there's a free shipping, 30-day risk-free trial, and Hydro offers a full-year warranty. Honestly, no pressure. Just try it and see how it feels. Getting a good sweat used to mean hours in the gym. Hydro, you can do it all at home on my schedule, 20 minutes. Rowing on my Hydro gets me that full-body workout without ever having to leave my house. It's so easy. I have it set up now. I was so excited when I got it, and it really does. You feel like you can't even describe how amazing it is to hit all of these spots. So you can skip the gym, not the workout. Stay on track with Hydro. For a limited time, go to hydro.com and use the code Kristian to save up to $470 off your Hydro. HYDROW.com. Use that code Kristian. Save up to $475. Hydro.com. Use the code Kristian. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. One of my best friends in the world. I've told you that before. And if you've been following me long enough, you know I call him Midas. He has produced so many great things. And look, Welcome to Wrexham is another show that he is one of his big hit shows that he's got a new season of. He did Val, the late, great Val Kilmer. And he did this, and he actually gave me, I got to see this before a lot of people did. And it was just such a moving thing. And that's just Chef's Table, so many different things that he's done. And I haven't talked to him in a bit, as far as on air. And I was like, you know what? I just want to have Andrew on because I think the audience likes to hear from him, likes to hear his stories. And that's it. So I'm going to do. I'm going to bring on my buddy, Andrew Freed. What's up, Andrew? How you doing?
Nice to see you, Kristian.
Nice to see you too.
Nice to be here.
Yes.
I take great compliment in the fact that your community has any interest in engaging with me in this way over and over again. So if that's true, then that's very cool for me.
I just think it's cool. I think it's always interesting to hear like how, and I like to recap the journey of people too, and the idea of like, and I was telling this story about you recently. I can't remember to who, but I was saying, yeah, my friend Andrew really did something amazing. Like the two of us met in LA. We're both from New York. When we met, it was like we were both getting into stand-up, and we both became friends through stand-up comedy and mutual friends, obviously. But like, you had such a different journey because you were like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to work in the family business. Didn't really go that way because you were like, that's not what I want to do. I want to be in entertainment, and you can't. And you had to like kind of have this battle. Not battle. Battle's not the right thing, but like, I guess a battle within, and yeah. And so then turning that into And I don't know, have we ever told the story when we were sitting down and we're talking about like the whole Mike Tyson side of it all?
I don't know. Our lunch and I mean, we've had so many. Here's the nice thing, right?
Yeah.
And as we get older and I get grayer, these things do start to crystallize even more clearly, right? Because I don't remember which conversation was about which, or whether we were sitting at South Beverly Grill when we talked about that one thing, or if we were sitting somewhere else when we talked about the other thing. But I do know that over time, we have very meaningful conversations at these like almost like these inflection points, but like they're almost like gifts from the universe, where you and I are talking about what we have done, what we were originally trying to do, what now we're trying to accomplish, and if we have any chance at figuring it out. And I like that about us.
It's hilarious that you say that, because it's so true. I remember when I was in that because it goes both ways, right? Because of the crossroads period of my life when I was doing stand-up and I was still interested in wrestling and WWE and all that, and again our mutual friend Trevor Engelson was like, hey, you know, you're gonna write something, get something out there, do something. And I wrote these storylines, but then you were helping me with crafting the letter to Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon and helping me. And I'll never forget what you said though when I was getting there. You said, here, look, here's, I think you gave me like $5 or $10, whatever it was, and you go, take this, and the first person you see who's in need of it, give it to them when you get there. Do you remember this?
Yeah, it's thank you so much for giving me the excuse to tell this story, which I never get to tell.
Go ahead, tell.
So my girlfriend in high school, her name was Danielle Paris.
Okay.
She still is her name. I guess she's married now, so it's no longer her name. But anyway, her dad was a professional basketball player in like the pre-NBA days. He had played at City College in the 30s, like was a national championship. But like, when you see the real scratchy footage of basketball when the key was actually shaped like a key.
Sure.
And he had this, when they traveled in those professional sports days, it was gnarly. And he was a very nervous traveler. And so he used to have this tradition of folding up a dollar bill in a particular shape so that it's folded in the one is like all you can see. And that was his tradition. And he used to do it to me. Hey, when you get to wherever you're going, give this to somebody who needs it.
Yeah.
And so I love that. I try to keep that tradition. I haven't done that in a while, but I'm glad I did that with you.
I remembered it. And that was 25 years ago, or 23 years ago, whenever it was. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And so, yeah, we have had that. I mean, and I told this story on the air about the whole thing with the punching bag and the Jake Paul thing. And that was Andrew's event that he was so kind to invite me to. And it's the other thing, like, let's start with that. How do you get involved with the Paul brothers, right? How does that come to be? And how do they do they say like, hey, we see all this stuff that you're doing, you take these meetings. So you take meetings all the time with people. How do you decide that you wanted to do this particular show?
So they all come about differently.
Yeah.
I am always happy to talk, like beyond, like, it's not like, oh, I'm happy to as a courtesy. I am thrilled to be able to talk to anyone ever about what we do and to try to see if there's a version of something that I could do with somebody, right?
Yeah.
Whoever it is.
Yeah.
Famous person, Ryan Reynolds, or person who I never met before, but like, oh, if there's a chance for us to talk about something that we could cruise on, like, yeah, let's do that. That project, though, in particular, I work with a filmmaker named Andrew Renzi. He has a company north of Now, who my company Boardwalk has an overall deal with, and he had directed an episode of Untold with Jake Paul.
Okay.
And so this was an offshoot of that, of like his experience making that about Jake, what he felt about it initially, what he then grew to appreciate about it. Right. And this idea of what if we really did a show? Is it a reality show? Is it a documentary? Is it somewhere in between? I think that's the beautiful space that a lot of the work that we do tries to occupy. And so But from an initial conceit, no, that was not a case of like taking a meeting. Now, I will say this. Our company, as we've talked about through the years, we've done lots of different work, and you're always a huge champion of what we're doing, and I appreciate that. But, I think in the last few years, we've had to embrace the idea that a lot of the shows that we used to make just aren't on mainstream network streamers,
Right.
et cetera, anymore, right? It's funny to think of Netflix as traditional media, but at this point it is. And shows that we used to make, there are great shows on Netflix that we made, like Home Game, which was about sports, and each episode was a different cultural sporting event around the world. Like, go watch the Calcio Storico episode of Home Game and tell me that show isn't like killer, right? And we did a show called Action about sports betting. We did it on Showtime. We did all these shows. I like to say that like these shows that line the back stairwell, like all the posters that are hung in the back stairwell here, like those were killer shows. We loved making them, and they're not really on, again, I say with air quotes, like mainstream television anymore.
Right.
And so we, for the last few years, realized that if we're going to be able to continue to do what we do the way we do it, it has to be bigger, right? We saw it with Welcome to Wrexham.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the new documentary version now is two really, really famous people, one of the most famous people on the planet. And then they shine a light on something that is really sweet and charming, and is increasingly less sweet and charming as it just grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's maybe the creative tension that's exciting about it, right? But like, that became sort of the new template. And so in a world where we're the people who produced Cheer, Greg Whiteley directed 2 seasons of Cheer, and we won a bunch of Emmy Awards for that, and had a whole bunch of other nominations that we lost to the Beatles and Peter Jackson with. But
good people to lose.
It's a decent company. But when we had made 2 seasons of Cheer, this very, very successful show, and then realized for a series about cheerleading to live on, it would have to reimagine itself to be America's Sweethearts, which is about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. That's a real shift in what's happening. And I'm talking shop because I know that your audience likes to talk. And so that was a real shift. And so there's 2 questions that remain there. Number one is, okay, how do we make really the biggest version of what we do? Enter Jake and Logan Paul, right? Like, that is an amazing opportunity to have that social experiment. And then number 2, how do we find audiences to engage with? How do we find communities to engage with in a very modern media landscape to be able to tell those stories that we used to tell, probably at a slightly different price point, and probably, a lot of different creative changes that we would want to make to it. But it becomes a real exciting part of what we're doing now, which is, there's Jake and Logan Paul. We did a show with the Boston Red Sox. We did a show with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Hey, choose the Red Sox. Hey, choose the Red Sox. You Yankee fan. How you do that?
I didn't fully realize how that all came about. It was sort of it was a made hand.
Yeah.
And I didn't fully appreciate it until I saw our lead executive at Netflix at a concert at the Hollywood Bowl, and he was wearing a New England Patriots hat. And I was just like, oh, you're a Boston guy. Like, of course, I should have known. But I did not know that he was a New England guy before I saw him at the Hollywood Bowl. But like, again, Greg Whiteley used to do Last Chance U. That was about the D3 football programs in Mississippi. Yeah. Or at least in its inception. And now he's doing the Boston Red Sox. And it used to be cheerleaders in West Texas, and now it's cheerleaders in Dallas, with a big star on the field. So it's an evolution.
Well, this is something I wanted to ask you too, is that you do so much. Because you're as I mentioned in the intro, with the stuff you did with Val, and like, just, you've always been big into the pop culture stuff, movies and TV. Like, I remember at your place watching The Sopranos and West Wing and stuff with you, but like, a lot of the stuff that you've found a lot of success with, as you just mentioned, most of them there are sports oriented, right? Like, what is it in general? Because I know, and it's a lot of stand-up comedy. So you also did that Bill Cosby documentary too. You've done a lot of different things that have been all over, but a lot of it seems to jump into the sports stuff. Is that intentional? Is that the stuff that just speaks to you? Like, why is it a lot of the stuff is sports?
Well, it's funny, right? Because it ended up that way, right? So maybe at the beginning when you and I were younger and I was like hunting down Bob Costas on 6th Avenue, like I really, with some intention, did want to be at this intersection of sports and entertainment.
Right.
That was where I thought my interest would lie. But then it just sort of happened that way. What's funny is that in the sports community, I'm sort of a producer and we're a company that like doesn't really do sports.
Right.
Like notwithstanding the fact that we do Welcome to Wrexham and we do America's Sweethearts and, you know, there are a couple of sports Emmys on the shelves and all the stuff that Greg Whiteley has done to this point has been sports related. And, you know, we work very closely with him. And so, yeah, it just turns out that way. I'll say this though, 30 for 30 changed the landscape, right? So to your question of, you know, when you go through all the titles that we've done, I think I always wanted to do documentary as mainstream entertainment.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to be entertainment. I didn't want it to be like special category documentary or even special category sports for that matter. If you go back in time, The Jinx happened on HBO and then 30 for 30 happened on ESPN. And that was sort of the birth of documentary content being on television. And it's interesting to see, you know, when was that? 2008, I would say, just off the top of my head. Okay, so now in 2025, the enduring things that are happening in unscripted and documentary really are still true crime in sports.
Right.
Like we've gone round and round, and I make great food shows that I'm very proud of, and all the other things.
You did a great UFO one too, by the way.
Thank you very much. And yet, what endures globally for these streamers and with audiences, what seems to resonate the most has a lot to do with sports and has a lot to do with true crime. I would also add that sports is like a little bit of a cheat code from a storytelling standpoint. There's a beginning, there's an end. Oftentimes there's a ticking clock. It's heightened stakes. It's heightened emotion. People get carried off the field, you know, as winners or, you know, there's just a lot that goes into it where the stakes are built in. And so as storytellers, you don't have to do an awful lot to it.
Right.
If you watch Greg Whiteley's stuff, whether it's Cheer or now America's Sweethearts, or, you know, he's counting down to something. 5 weeks till the first game, 3 weeks. Like sports is always a countdown, and that's, I think, a bit of a storytelling cheat code.
Yeah, and there's
also tribal. It's also tribal.
Yeah, there is. Like, absolutely. I mean, there's and I don't know. There's a particular project that I saw of yours. We won't talk. I don't know how much I can say. So I'll just say that there's stuff that you've told stories in different parts of sports and different things that I think it is more, and I think that you are in a certain aspect, and I won't ever say this about you, but you're being humble. I'm kidding. You're very humble. But what you were talking about, I do think that yes, there's a cheat code, but there is also an art to being able to bring that story in an entertainment way and finding the right tools to make that happen, to which you do very well. And that project that I saw was just like, it was just second to none. There's a really, you're following certain people, but you can choose the amount of footage that you have. You can choose to use footage that someone would be like, all right, let's go. Yeah, I get it. You need to show this, but let's move. And you guys just put things in order that it just works, whether it's the thing I'm talking about, whether it's Wrexham, whether it's these other things. And it also, not even just in sports, it's in that storytelling aspect that I mentioned again, and bring it back for the third time, and that's Val. And I got to talk to you about that, especially with his passing and everything that, you know, that to me, I remember you calling me and telling me, I got a really cool thing I'm working on right now, and I want you to take a look at it. And I called you immediately afterwards, and I was just like, dude, this is so incredible. All right, so let's talk about how Val came to be, the project, and just in general, because it's such a fascinating piece of work and the story behind it is interesting. So how did that all come to be?
Yeah, so I had worked for years with Ting Pu, who is one of the co-directors of Val. She was an editor who I had worked with a lot. She came to me. I think we were editing something together, and she said, my friend Leo, who I work very closely with, Leo Scott, who's one of the other co-director, who is the other co-director of Val. He needs your advice on something, kind of thing. And so I met with Leo, who's the nicest guy. And what emerged was that he had been filming with Val for now years. Val had conceived of this one-man show, which if you've seen the film, and I would really, I mean, now
great.
that he's gone, especially,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful film that Ting and Leo made. And that Val made, and that, Val's whole family made, honestly. But so, and I can say this now with love and respect, but Val had engaged Leo to do like the behind the scenes of this Mark Twain one-man show.
Yeah,
that
right.
He was launching.
Yeah, it's part of the movie. Yeah.
And so he was filming part of that, and then that became something else, and then that became something else, and then Val's health started to face some challenges, and Leo, in a very documentary filmmaker way, just kept filming.
Yeah.
Whatever was happening, he kept filming. But then you find yourself, years into this.
Yeah.
With all this footage, not really knowing what to do. He had also been simultaneously digitizing all of the footage that Val had shot of himself through the years.
Sure.
And that project was going, but candidly, and I hope he wouldn't mind me saying this, like, he was into it now for maybe not explicitly money, but you're working a long time on something. Like, it's like, what do I do?
Right.
Right. So we had a meeting. I hope I'm not divulging something that everybody wouldn't want, but so we have a meeting at my office, and Val starts. Now, he of course comes in with scarves around his throat.
Yeah.
But he in many ways he's unrecognizable.
Yeah.
He can't really speak. I mean, you know what he sounded like at the end. So, but he's communicating, he's speaking, and he wants to make a reality show where it's about an art gallery that he owns in Silver Lake, and he's projecting old footage that he shot on the set of, The Island of Dr. Moreau,
right.
and it's projected on the walls, and that's like an art installation. And he wanted to like do this TV show. And I was like, yeah, and he wanted to talk about Mark Twain. He wanted to talk about like a whole lot of things. And I said to him pretty candidly in that meeting, I said, yeah, I don't want to do any of that. And he said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I want to get you a standing ovation at Cannes.
Yeah, that's great.
And, there are a few moments in one's life.
Such a great Freed line. It's such a great.
And it is. And I have enough distance from it that I can appreciate that it is.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah, we
did.
Yeah.
And so that was a journey in convincing him to do that. Again, Leo and Ting did an incredible job with that film. It premiered at Cannes to a standing ovation. And look, I think that film, I can say this to you now, my friend who has this engaged community. To me, that film is an exercise in seeing someone who wanted very specific things.
Yeah.
And got every one of them. He achieved every single thing that he dreamed of achieving. And as he was achieving them, he kind of either wasn't present enough, or kind of took a piss on it at the same time, or it wasn't what he thought it would be. Whatever that struggle was for him, that's what the story of the movie is to me. That might not be what it is to you, but it is what the movie is to me. And the release of it continued to be that, because we got him a standing ovation at Cannes and he was not there.
Oh, right.
And his kids were there, but he was not. And
was he not there? Was he not there because of health stuff, or he just didn't want to go?
I don't know what combination of health stuff, or did he really want to sit in that
Right.
theater and watch that?
Right.
I'll never know.
Right.
But he wasn't there. And then we did a big fancy premiere at the Directors Guild on Sunset, and Michael Mann was there,
cool.
and it was like the coolest. And Val was not.
Yeah.
And so I love that that film exists. We knew, obviously, now we should know this about everything that we make. Someday the subject of our films is not going to be here anymore.
Right.
And so we should make it knowing, especially in a streaming era where these films last forever in a catalog, we should make it like that. And I hope that we do. But his passing, and Clarence Avant, the subject of The Black Godfather, passed, and
such is life, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, like, and that's one of the things that when you're making these stories, a lot of them about these true human stories, and not even necessarily in passing of people dying, but it's like more or less like some of the things that you've got to see, just some of these stories of like you're following them. That is part of this. You could have a lot of happy moments. You can feel a lot of the, the sad moments. There's just so much. I mean, I literally could talk to you, and the audience should hear for like 3 to 4 hours, 5 hours, a full day, to be honest, of all the different stories that you have. But you're busy.
I appreciate it. What I will say, just to steal the mic a little bit, is Greg Whiteley does this in his shows in particular. There's obviously a ton of this in Wrexham as well. But what I've become a fan of late is the effect of the show on the subjects of the show in later seasons.
Right.
Meaning, if you go back and watch Cheer, the first season of Cheer is about a junior college in West Texas and people who could never have imagined being on TV. Season 2 of Cheer is like Rocky 3.
Right.
They might as well be practicing in the lobby of the Plaza.
Well, that's my point.
Right.
And
so, and Last Chance U has those themes, and America's Sweethearts this year has those themes. I love that.
That's what I mean.
Sort of
that's what I'm saying.
Meta.
You get to go through that journey with them, and I've seen you do it. I've seen you be in, in the clouds, and I've seen you be in the shits because of the things that the people that you're working with and the stories you're getting involved with, and it's part of the rush that comes with it, like anything else. But all right, tell me before we let you go here, because I know you're busy, you got things to do. What's going on with Boardwalk? What's the latest? What should people be looking out for?
That's such an exciting question, and I just have to go through my calendar. Look, the reality is that you and I are going to be talking again in the fall.
Great.
Because I got a good one.
Okay, you just can't talk about it yet.
Can't talk about it yet.
All right,
but
fine.
Again, I'm not like, just amongst friends.
Okay.
We're going to be talking again in the fall.
Okay, I like that. Well,
we have this film coming out, Shark Whisperer, which is about Ocean Ramsey.
Okay.
That comes out on Netflix. I want to say, I don't know, this week before the end of the month.
Great.
And that's really, really cool. Again, America's Sweethearts, that is on Netflix currently. That's season 2 of America's Sweethearts. That's really exciting. And again, these shows last forever. Like the Clubhouse, the Boston Red Sox series that we did. I know you would prefer that we do it about the Mets. I know that would.
The audience knows you are definitely taking a piss, as you say, with that moment. You just do it on Juan Soto.
We know that Kristian is a fan of a few things: the New York Mets
and pizza,
Chicago pan pizza.
Right. Yeah, the audience will know you too well.
But like that show's killer.
Yeah, I did hear it's really, really good. By the way, I didn't watch. And you
talk about like taking things that we watched through one lens, and now understanding it with a different lens and watching it again. Like I don't get anything from getting people to go back and watch a show that released over a month ago, but like. I'm really proud of that. And Paul American, right? Like, I don't know to what extent your audience has found Paul American on Max, but what we did, and Michael John Warren directed season 1 of that, and what we did there, I'm just so proud of. We would not have been the expected storytellers for Jake and Logan, obviously.
Right.
But with what we made in the end, I think we're all so proud of it. And the audiences who have engaged with it, I think have really loved it. And so, I'm pushing that forever.
Well, look, man, like I said, there's so many different things you got, and I'm not surprised that you said that there's going to be something really a good one coming up, because that's usually what happens. You and I will be talking, and then I hear about the new project. I'm like, holy shit, that's a good one. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to see it. And that eventually is going to happen. It looks like this fall. But Andrew, I'm so excited again with everything that you're doing, and I'm excited that I get a chance to talk to you here, and we'll be chatting real soon.
Love to see you, Kristian, and I'm just so happy to talk to you and connect any way that we can. So thank you for having me.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Freed. We will talk to you guys really soon. Go check out all of Andrew's stuff and look him up just to see all the damn credits that he's got. It's great. All right, talk to you later. That's right, Andrew Freed, ladies and gentlemen, the great Andrew Freed, who I like to call Midas. I call him Midas. I think he is just dude. His stuff that he's got. I mean, between that doc, just listen to him talk about Val was so amazing. And
I got a chance to interview the filmmakers of Val and Val Kilmer's children after that documentary came out on my channel, which was very gracious to have a chance to do. And it's a phenomenal documentary.
It's great.
But I will say this, Andrew, the next time you need a technical assistant for another season of Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders, I'm available. I'm available to help you, my friend.
You should have Andrew. You should have Andrew on your show.
I would love to have Andrew on my show. Are you kidding? There's so much I would love to ask him. That was a great interview, man.
He's great. I've known Andrew for such
he genuinely cares about you. That's great.
He's one of my best friends in the world. I've had him. I've had him on. I mean, I've known him the way, like we talked about. So we started doing stand up together, long time ago, and then he helped me with the WWE stuff and all that stuff. Like just so many different things that Andrew and I've been through together. I told that story about the Jake Paul boxing thing where I blew my shoulder out, but I did very well in doing it. That was at Andrew's event. So, anyway, so thanks for watching. Check it out. Make sure you check out Andrew's stuff. What we're going to do here is we're going to go over a few more stories, and then we have the question that we're going to get to all of them. I talked to John already. He's going to know we had the interview, so he's going to stick around. We're going to make sure that we get to all the questions. John's going to stay.
Come on.
Yeah, we got 40, we got 41. We got 41. So if there's anything you want to say to John, now's the time to do it.
Show me what you got.
So we talked about the Odyssey. We've discussed that movie, and that's going to be so many people's like most anticipated movie.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things that we said was like, look, every single person, if you're an actor, you're signing up to do this. Everybody's in it. Everybody. Why in the world wouldn't anybody want to do this? So who would drop out of this? I'll tell you who's going to drop out of it. Somebody looking for their boat. Oh. That's right. My boat. I cannot be on Nolan's movie. I'm looking for my boat. So he's looking for his boat. He will no longer be in the Odyssey. Why is that? If I can close out all these tabs, I'll make sure that I get it. Okay, Cosmo Jarvis drops out of the Odyssey. Following his breakout turn in Shogun and following it up with Warfare earlier this year, rising star Cosmo Jarvis sadly had to drop out of a key role. Actor was set to join the ensemble of the Odyssey, which is in its final week of filming. Now, Jarvis has had to drop out shortly before due to a scheduling conflict. The actor is ready to star in the feature biopic Young Stalin about the Russian dictator. Oh, he's playing Stalin? Oh, shit. Prometheus and Upgrade star Logan Marshall Green has reportedly stepped in to replace him in his role, though details of this specific part are under wraps. What is known is that Theron's about to begin shooting her 2 weeks or so in the scenes. The actress believed to be playing Sorceress Circe in the Nolan film. The project has been shooting in Morocco, Greece, Italy, Ireland, and Scotland, along with some shooting in it. Los Angeles, yada. Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Now, this is a question that if anybody interviews him, it's got to be the first thing you got to ask him about, right? You got to say, hey, listen, tell me about the scheduling conflict, because sometimes it really is a scheduling conflict. Sometimes it's an excuse, right?
Wait, are you telling me that people in Hollywood don't tell you the full truth about stuff that's going on behind the scenes?
Here we go.
No, I mean, listen, I'm sad to hear this because I love Cosmo. I thought he was great in Warfare earlier this year, and of course Shogun. And I think it is a loss for the film and for his career. I think
that's the bigger thing. Yes,
right?
Yes.
So I have to believe that the producers of an independent film like Stalin were more than willing to give him space to be a part of that. But maybe he just felt like the role after it was all said and done wasn't creatively inspiring for him, wasn't going to do what he thought it was going to do for him, and he pulled out. Kind of like what you see. I don't know what Ed Skrein is doing. I'm not going to spoil anything, but like Ed Skrein, why'd you take that role? Like, considering what happens, why'd you take that role? So there's certain actors that are on the come up. They have to be very careful about what they choose to do and what they walk away from. So you hope that there was something that maybe it's a creative situation, not a, well, I'm going to be a lead here, so screw this being one of the. I
can imagine. It's got that. To me, I have to believe that in this situation, this is the fact that he's a lead in Stalin, and they're like, listen, you cannot do this. You just can't. We just can't make it work. Right. It's like, do I give up this lead of playing Stalin to do a couple of scenes with Nolan, which I definitely want to do, but I cannot do it. I'll lose this role, plus probably making significantly more to be Stalin than he is for what he's doing in Nolan movie, because Nolan, probably rightfully so, can get a lot of people to do his things for not the normal price that you would get these people for. And he's probably bummed about it. I don't think that this is one of those things like, I don't want to do this movie. Who says that about the Nolan movie?
I don't know.
Who says that?
Actors are crazy, dude. Actors are crazy.
I know, but this wouldn't make sense to me. I think this, I actually do believe the scheduling thing here, and I believe that he is probably figure out everything that you can do, whether I have to go in my boat or not. I will be there no matter what. It's Nolan. But I don't know if it's gonna.
Well, I got to talk to these independent producers who thought, well, we're just going to schedule this so it counters the production time of the Odyssey. Like, why would you do that to your actor?
Right? Why would you do that to him? It's like, wouldn't it help you more if he was in the Odyssey? Right?
Yes, that would promote your film even more.
100%. So that sucks. What do you guys make of it? You think this is a bad move? Should he drop out of the Stalin thing to do the Nolan movie, or shit happens? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. I think that's good for stories today, man. I think we're good. I think we're good. I mean, are there any big stories that we should really talk about?
Mission's exhausted.
No, I'm not exhausted.
It's 75 tabs up, interview running, all these questions.
It's just tomorrow we're gonna have. I mean, that's the other thing, is that the social embargo lifts on Superman tonight, which for some reason they're doing the press. I don't know how you got your thing, but the LA and New York press screening is tomorrow.
That's weird. Yeah, weird. Ours is tonight. I just got my text from the publicist telling me what time I need to show up so I can get myself a good seat.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm in like that with my people. Okay. But I don't know why you guys are tomorrow. Maybe they fear you all's reviews more than they fear people from the smaller cities.
I doubt it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I really don't. Normally, it's like they do it all at the same time. I have no clue.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Whatever. So nonetheless, that drops. The social drops that then the review drops around the same time when I get out of seeing this thing. So tomorrow? Yeah, it drops right around the same time of when I'm going to. So I'm not hosting the show tomorrow. Mike, your boy Mike Kalinowski, and Roxy will be hosting the show.
So it'll be a Superman love fest. I should come on that show. They need a counterpoint.
Hey, I'll send you the link. Just don't bill me for it. Just don't bill me.
They don't want me on the show. Yeah. They'll be upset.
Roxy loves doing shows.
I love Roxy. I love Roxy to pieces. And that's why I was so hurt when you said last week that people thought I was talking about Roxy.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I will never in my entire life say an ill word or a bad word about Roxy Striar.
So you actually texted me. So just to put this on the record, so that thing you were talking about on that short that we did was not about Roxy, and it was not about the Real Rejects.
It was not about Roxy.
Oh, I thought that's what you said.
It's not about Roxy.
Oh, well, never mind. Okay,
that's what I'll say.
All right, fair enough. I was wrong. All right,
not about Roxy.
Okay. All right.
Again, I love Roxy. I think Roxy has got her heart always in the right place, and of course, her recent loss, my heart is broken for her. And I always think she comes from a open and honest place, and I never doubt her opinions or points of views, and I never think she sells herself out a little bit for anybody. She's so her own person.
Okay.
That I love that about Rox. So I would never say an ill word about her.
All right, so we're going to get to the questions. You have 47 so far. Starting off the week, can Roxy and Mike beat you? We'll see if that's the case. But sure. 47 to start thus far. What is going on the John Rocha channel?
Oh, hey, it's the John Rocha channel. That's right. It's happening. And that is what it's called, starting probably Thursday morning. We are officially going to become, I might have a blowout Wednesday night final Outlaw Nation stream, maybe go live for 4 hours and just blow it all out, put the hat on and everything. But yeah, we're changing over. So the John Rocha channel, youtube.com/John Rocha says, we'll have a Geek Buddies review of Jurassic World Rebirth coming out probably at 2 p.m. PT, and our thoughts going into Superman. You guys want to hear from Vogel on that. Then probably Spill the Tequila tomorrow. I'll do my out of theater reaction tonight. Jeff and I will probably try to record a hot mic episode today or tomorrow morning for you all to have out, and then we'll do another one on Thursday as well. Then Jedi Way will be back this week at some point. So it's a very busy week, Kristian. A lot going on the channel.
I love it.
Ooh, fireworks.
Lots of stuff. Okay, so let's get to the questions. There's a few that were not registered by StreamYard, so I have them here. Yeah. Tom Hanks is my favorite Jurassic Park since the original. Really fun. Okay, Tom liked it. Tom liked it. Right, okay, that was number one. So we have quite a few that weren't registered.
Noted film critic Tom Hanks.
Ralph, when you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Sam, are you going to tell her the real story of Shannon Tate or blind watch? She's going to go bonkers with the ending. Yeah, you know what? I don't know yet.
Don't tell her.
I'm not going to tell her anything.
Don't tell her about Sharon Tate. If she doesn't know about Sharon Tate,
I'm not going to tell her a damn thing.
I want to see if she thinks the ending works or doesn't, because I don't think it does.
Okay.
If you don't come in with the knowledge of Sharon Tate, I don't think the ending works.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
I did until the ending. Yeah.
What do you think about the sequel with Fincher and not Tarantino?
I'm nervous.
Yeah, that movie worked for me because of the Tarantino flair.
Right. I see Fincher, who loves silences. Yes. I see Fincher going through Tarantino's script, going, "Don't need that line. Don't need that line. Don't need that line."
Right. Oof, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see. Ralph follows it up. I think Hollywood might be DiCaprio's best acting. How good of an actor do you have to be to play a failed actor? Can't wait for one battle after another. I actually think that his best is Wolf of Wall Street.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
Wolf.
Yeah, he's so good in that.
Better than Revenant. I know they gave him the Oscar for Revenant, but I think he should.
I liked him in Revenant, but I think Wolf of Wall Street was it's his best. This is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Love that movie. Mark Long.
Departed either. He's fucking excellent.
He's good in that too. That's the one that won me over for him. Like, because I always saw him as like, you know, the screaming kind of yelling DiCaprio that I thought was fine. But then but DiCaprio, he really won me over in Departed. That was when I was like, oh, this guy's one of my favorites. Okay, so Mark Long. This is my friend's car. He went to find you a tighter shirt. There isn't a tighter shirt. We checked cinema is back with the Bayverse. I don't understand that.
I don't understand that at all either.
I don't get that at all. I don't
understand. Don't get high and send.
This is my friend's car. He went to find you a tighter shirt. There isn't a tighter shirt. We checked cinema is back. Sorry, Mark, that makes no sense. Bulldog 31087. Did either of you guys catch the Rick and Morty appearance by Snyder and Gunn? Very meta and hilarious. I did see it. And it was pretty good. Come on, you gotta give
very funny. Okay. Absolutely.
All right, you give it credit. You give that one credit.
Of course, because they're in on it and Snyder's in on it. So I thought it was really funny. As opposed to South Park having Spielberg and Lucas rape the Indiana Jones.
Oh, right.
I thought they were more in on the joke, and that's clearly why they got together. That photo they took together a few months ago. So,
Mad Sinister McCall, Beth Snyder says, during Greg's interview, Rocha kicked down the door and Jeff screamed, "Surprise, MF." Rocha put Gunn in a headlock while Jeff asked questions. I wonder if Jeff would you interview Gunn if you had the chance?
100%.
Yeah.
And 100%, just so I could ask him, listen, this is my opinion on this. What do you think? This is what I thought you were saying when you said this. Am I wrong? Explain it to me. Right. I would love to interview him, of course. But I wouldn't be like, oh, 12-year-old Indian boy, that's funny. I wouldn't do that. Like I would actually have to ask him about why would you say that? You know, that seems like an odd thing to say. So.
Okay. Well, and then Mad Sinister says, have Sam react to Old Boy. It's a great family film. The original. Yeah. Okay. So right now, actually, John, you stand at 56 because there were 7 that weren't registered.
People hating it, I guess. Yeah.
No, it's good.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. We just started. So Chris Carr. Hey guys, hyped for Superman and DC's future. I really do think that Asia Arjona will get the role of Wonder Woman, and I think Jensen Ackles will get the role of Batman. Just a feeling I have. Thanks. So Arjona, I'm with you. I agree. I think she's going to get it. Jensen Ackles, I think, is going to be in the running. What I can't say whether or not he's going to be in it though, but I don't think so. What do you think, John?
I don't think either one are going to be in it, unfortunately. Really? I would love Adria to be in it. Of course. I love Adria. I think she's amazing. And so if Gunn does put her in it, I'll be very happy. I just don't know if that's where they're going. Jensen, I don't think that's going to happen. Jensen is a great TV actor. I don't think he's an on-camera, a theatrical actor fully. So I don't know you want to hang things on.
Did you watch The Boys?
I did, yeah. And I thought he was great. But are you going to hand Anthony Starr the lead of a movie?
Maybe.
Movie?
Would you give Bruce Willis a lead role in a movie in 1980?
I would, yeah. But also, there's plenty of TV guys who've gotten Josh Lucas, Eric Bana, all TV guys did not make it happen. So
Eric Bana, he's one of those guys that he should have hit. He had that leading man thing. His agents were terrible.
Listen, acting is just like the WWE.
Yeah.
Some people come along and they got I was watching old WCW stuff the other day, and I'm like, all these guys have the tools, the great body, decent promos, good work in the ring. Why weren't they bigger?
Right.
And that's the thing. You just never know. Some people have to have that it,
It's true. Tim, let you start with this one, John. Would you trust a Superman review from Eric Voss from New Rockstars?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? Eric and I just recently followed each other on social media, and Jeff and I are trying to figure out a time to come on together to his show on New Rockstars. So yeah, why wouldn't I trust Eric? Why is there something I should?
No, I think basically from what you said earlier about the fact that he's one of those guys who gets invited to these things early, gets super excited. I like Eric a lot. I've met him a few times.
Yeah,
I would not base if I saw his thing first, I wouldn't be like, well, Eric liked it. Eric likes a lot of things. And he likes a lot of things that he's liked shows that I have not liked. He's liked things that I like. Oh, he gets hyped up and he's excited. He's like he's genuine, 100% genuine. He's not, but I just don't think our tastes line up because he seems to like more stuff than I do.
Gotcha.
So
I'm not familiar with his stuff, so I can't. I would.
You're a nice guy.
I don't know enough to question him, so I would just look at it and go, okay, cool. But it wouldn't affect my liking or not liking.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eric's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I like Eric. He's a cool guy.
Special ed. Rocha has so many bad takes. It's got to be exhausting.
I know it does. It doesn't it? But people keep watching. How come no one's watching you, Special Ed?
I knew you were going there. He follows it up with Rocha stumbles onto a good opinion once in a blue moon on accident. Why is he and Snyder such bitter old men?
I don't know. Ask your mom. We were just there last
night. You can't go to mom's stuff.
Come on. Jeff and I were just there talking to her about you.
Come on.
She's very disappointed in what you've become, Special Ed. She told me to tell you that. And she's very disappointed in what you've become.
John, I am too fly camp. If F1 is lucky, it hits 500 million. Not a huge hit, Kristian.
Wow.
You are incorrect. For Apple standards, this is a hit for Apple.
Yes, absolutely hit
100%. This is a massive hit for Apple.
I'll say this: I tried to go all weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and all the IMAX things were almost sold out here in San Diego. It's shocking to me. So
it's a big hit.
It's a big hit.
This is a big hit. Okay, next one again. So right now we are at 60. So I am too fly camp. Says Rocha, I got no problem with you criticizing Gunn. The issue is that you do it 3 times a week the last few months. It's been too consistent, in my opinion.
Oh, so what you're saying is I want you to have your opinion and free speech. I just want to control how much you talk about stuff and your free speech. Oh, okay. I am too fly camp. You talk about the Seahawks every goddamn day and they suck nuts. So, like, seriously, give me a break. Anyway, go ahead.
Pooh the weenie. I live in a beach town in Social, and I live in Social in SoCal, and Sean Gunn is legit my neighbor. Rocha, you want me to deliver any of your message about James Gunn? Pooh the weenie, tell him that he should do an interview with John Rocha. I would pay so much money to watch
Sean Gunn. Yeah, I would ask him. Hey,
Sean Gunn is. Oh, Sean Gunn. I had Sean Gunn. Yeah,
Sean Gunn. How come you called out every other studio except WB when you were calling him?
I asked him that. I asked him
strikes. What did he say?
I asked him. He said he was heated up and he wanted it, and he didn't. He pretty much said, like, I was working under the vest. It's like he said he wouldn't mean to call you. Watch the clip. I put it out there too, and he was very honest. I actually really liked Sean Gunn and the interview that I had with him. He was a very open and honest guy. I liked him a lot.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I did ask him. It was one of the first questions I asked him. Actually,
how come he didn't call out WB on the strike line?
Watch that clip. I definitely asked him that, and I liked his answer.
You asking it?
Yeah. The Richards Art became a YouTube member. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Luke told me this. You got over 500 members now, so it's great. We're trying to hit 1,000. That'd be great. So thank you. Cowboys fan, John, don't let Harloff talk you down for being you. I didn't talk you down from being you.
He's never. Listen, the reason we do the show is because both of us we East Coast boys, so we're gonna give our opinions and disagree or not agree.
Never
or agree. We're always gonna give our truths and not try to stop the other one from telling the truth. So.
But Cowboys fan, you comment here all the time, and I appreciate it.
3 times a week, Cowboys fan, you're on here.
And I appreciate it, but it's like that's one of the things, though. You can't say stuff like that. It's like it's when you have a conversation. If I was just like, no, okay, yeah, sure,
yeah, right,
I agree with everything you say. Yeah, okay, no. It's like no, I was like, hey, man, I know you long enough. Why do you say this? And you go, well, I say this because of this. And I go, well, I don't necessarily agree, but okay, I understand what you're saying. Oh. You can't have that conversation. That's boring.
I thoroughly appreciate that you give me like a lead in to explain my position because I think that's great.
You got to have 2 points of view. Some people are going to agree with you. Some people are going to agree with me, and some people are not going to agree with either one of us.
Yeah.
I have a quick story about. I tell you, my little one. Who I have she's pretty much like Silvio Dante from The Sopranos. But dude, she did again this over the weekend. We're sitting there, we're playing Uno, and she kicks my ass all the time. But we were playing, and my wife goes, "Maisie, you want yogurt?" And she goes, "Yeah, I want some yogurt." And my wife goes, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, I want some yogurt." And she goes, "What did you say?" And I said, "She said she wants some yogurt." And so she looks at me and she goes, "This guy gets it." And I start cracking up.
So much trouble, man.
I know. I start cracking up, and my wife goes, "Maisie, your dad's your biggest fan." And she goes, "Special Ed, hey MD, I dare you to super chat." I don't know who MD is.
I don't know who MD. Oh, I was gonna say Mike Kalinowski, but that's a D. So
I'm not sure.
I dare you to get alive. Go ahead.
Hey, be nice.
I'm sorry.
Be nice.
I'm sorry.
He got you he's part of that 65 right now.
Thank you, Special Ed.
Ralph.
Hey,
100%. We need a F1 and Days of Thunder crossover, please. Last 2 movies stars Cruise and Pitt. Call the movie F2 Rolling Thunder $1 trillion box office. I am in. I'm absolutely in.
No, 1 trillion. No, that would be overperforming. You're being ridiculous. It should only make 600. Look, the Jeff's been adamant that this is a stupid story that's never going to happen. But listen, we got a president who wants to put a UFC main event on the front lawn of the White House. Anything is possible now. So why not? Let's cross over Days of Thunder and F1. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Speaking of Ralph and Al Pacino, I saw some clip on social media. It must have been 3-4 days ago. It was Scarface, right?
Oh yeah.
Right? So what did I watch last night?
Love that movie.
I watched Scarface last night.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I watched it last night, and I was like, 3 hours almost later. I'm like, I regret nothing. Absolutely nothing. Stephen Bauer's excellent in that movie.
He's excellent. Not always the strongest of actors, but he was excellent in Scarface.
Excellent. We had him on the Schmo Show back in the day.
I got to meet him at CBS one time. I talked to him for 15 minutes, just randomly on the set. He's such a great guy.
Love him. Nice. I think he is a good actor. I think he was good in Breaking Bad also. Michael Baldwin. John, I don't disagree, but you're still my guy. Should I be concerned because I didn't like All-Star Superman?
No, because it's a completely different person doing it. Look, again, I can't say this enough. Everyone should go in with an open mind. I'm going in with an open mind. If you like it, if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Let yourself naturally not like it or like it. It's just up to you,
Right. Special Ed became a member, John. Look at that.
Hey, look at that. Thank you, Special Ed.
Cowboys fan. I'm just going to say this. This chat's coming after you, John, with no logic.
What do you expect? They love to hate the boisterous Latino. It's just in their DNA. Just in their DNA.
Like the Iron Heart commenter. All right, Cool Cash. What are the chances a Supergirl is in the post-credit scene of Superman?
1,000,000%.
You think she's in the post-credit? I thought she was going to be in the end, but maybe post-credit may probably make sense. Also, do we think Ultraman is Doomsday or Bizarro? PNL to you.
Peace and love to you. Yeah.
Yes.
No, and I don't want to guess. I want to be surprised. I don't know who Ultraman is going. Like a lot of people thought it might be Supergirl in there. So I don't know. There's all kinds of guesses. So I want to be surprised.
You're gonna know soon. You're gonna know soon.
It's probably
this is from Sergio C. Rocha's hilarious.
Thank you.
No, perfect. Michael Baldwin watching Ironheart. Riri said she had no resources, but if Stark and Wakanda won't give her money, why would anyone else? She knows them.
Well, that's the problem with the show is they don't take time to show her trying to get money from the Stark Foundation or from Wakanda. And that scene was ridiculous. Oh, hey, Shuri, I need money. Like, of course you would do that. And you would exhaust what? I'd rather turn to crime than call Shuri and ask for help. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
And so out on that one. Yeah, there's a lot. And I kept saying
the whole episode. Yeah.
I can't even get into it. I was like, that was one where I dropped the video and ran away from the comments. I was like, because people are like, asking too many questions. I'm like, because there's a lot of questions you have to ask about the show.
I love
a lot of logic stuff. A lot of it.
Like the show, don't ask any questions about it.
Just eat it. So, the other thing, by the way, John, I told you I put up the pilot. I don't know if you watched it yet, but I put up the pilot. It's almost and my goal was to try to get it to 10,000 views.
What's it at?
Grasping at Trust. It's at 9,800 views.
Come on, people.
So we're almost there. Got a lot of comments. I answered every comment back. If you haven't checked out Grasping at Trust, because it's leading to we're almost done with the draft of my pilot that I'm writing right now. I'm actually meeting up with my writing partner tomorrow. We are almost done with the first draft. Pretty excited about it. The goal, again, people who don't know, we're working on this pilot. The goal is that we're going to do a Kickstarter. We get enough for the pilot. I'm just going to do the pilot. We get lucky. We'll do more. Maybe get a 6-episode season. Who knows? But we are excited about this one, and we're moving forward. She sent me the pass she did at it. I was so excited. She really did a great job with it. So I'm excited to tell you guys more about it when we have the information. Okay. JM. Warner Brothers has always been filmmaker driven versus Marvel is director for hire. They weren't like that for a while, Marvel. Seeing the filmmaker leading the DCU is logical as he is the one constant project to project versus actors. Go ahead, John.
That makes no sense because Kevin Feige is the person who is consistent at Marvel going film to film. He sets the tone of the overall universe. With James Gunn, he's got a point of view, but other filmmakers could come in who think they're better than James Gunn as filmmakers, and some of them are. I mean, you can tell me James Gunn is better than Luca Guadagnino? Get out of here. And so you look at the situation and you go, well, how excited will these filmmakers be to get notes from James Gunn? So I think you run a bigger risk when you put someone like James Gunn in charge of a universe. When you go with directors and things of that nature, it might be an issue going back and forth. So, but with Feige, there's a consistency there because he's the overall guy in charge and he's not trying to direct your movie. He may be throwing in notes, but he's not trying to direct your movie. I think those are two different things.
Crash and Coyote, you're not pointing out inconsistencies, John. He didn't say John, but I assume that's what he's talking. You're acting heel.
Nope. Inconsistencies. Nope. If you don't like it, you don't like it. They're inconsistencies. It's easy to tell. I can easily give you like 20 of them, but okay.
All right. Michael Baldwin, it seems like negative Superman headlines get clicks. I'm not a Gunn guy, but I feel like this movie is under attack. Why? Is it Gunn?
I don't know. I haven't posted one thing that's an attack on Superman the movie. So I don't know who is attacking that Superman movie, and I don't know who he's talking about.
Well, I mean, there have been, obviously they said they're going to do that. There's that campaign that's going to.
Yeah, and I retweeted that and said I am not in support of this bullshit. This is dumb. This retort of the Snyderverse nonsense. I was like, this is dumb. Like he had his chance. They've moved on. They're never bringing him back to be in charge of DC again. So. What are you trying to do? It's such wasted effort.
Yeah, I mean, look, we are in a spot right now with any movie of this. I don't think Fantastic Four is going to get this kind of heat. I still think that people are going to either feel like they'll still do the Marvel. Fantastic Four is probably thank God for Superman because they're getting all the they're getting all the hate and everything back. That it feels like a kind of like a Last Jedi thing to where it's like this Battle or Star Wars thing normally what they get. But I will say there's a lot of love for this movie too, by the way. It's a lot.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. This is another one though. I'm going to post my ad of the theater reaction, then I'm going to run away from the comments. Like whether I love it or I hate it.
I probably should too. I won't.
You can't answer them back. You're going nuts. You especially. You can't win with this one. It's like I'm gonna go I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna go. I know it's the same thing. I'm gonna love it, and I'm a DC shill. If I don't like if I have criticisms, then all I'm doing is nitpicking. It's like you can't win. You got to walk away from it, and you just got to be honest. And you got to say, okay, this is how I feel. This is it. I'm walking away. Shut it down. Gone. You have to, because there's too many people on the internet that are gonna have a different opinion from you one way or another, and that's the name of the game.
People just need to have a place to put their anger nowadays, and wherever
for a long time though.
Huh?
It's been like this for a long time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Andrew, Nathan, how do you guys feel about WB DC paying influencers, YouTubers to promote the film? Should moviegoers see reviews as disingenuous and biased? Now, when they're paying people to promote the film, I mean, are they doing campaigns and stuff, like things of that nature?
Yeah, I don't know, and so I don't know the ins and outs of the particulars.
What do you mean?
Yeah. But with someone like Soups says WB content partner, so I'm going to get a very biased point of view from Soups, but at least he admits it. At least he puts it out there. Like, there's a respect for that. But if you're trying to claim that you're an impartial person or objective person, and then you fawn all over the thing before it even comes out, then I don't think you're objective. I think you've got something invested in it doing well. And so there's, to me, where I start to have questions, which is why we did that conversation, Jeff and I, about influencers becoming critics. I'm sorry, critics becoming influencers, because it seems to be starting to happen more and more. Because these people want to keep access, and they want to maintain access, either A, because they're making money off that access, or B, they like the ego stroke of having that access for their own careers.
Yeah, and I don't think, though, this is any different, though, than a lot. So I've been not seeing a certain show, and someone says, hey, there's a show on CBS coming out. Have you seen it? I haven't seen it yet, right? And they want to promote it over the two. And then I'll watch it, and then I was like, I promote this, it's fine. But normally for me, this isn't for everybody. I probably wouldn't, if I didn't like the show before, I would say, look, here's the thing. Either I'm not going to do it, or if I think it's fine, I'll say, okay, I'm not going to be disingenuous about it. I'm going to say, okay, look, here's the thing. This show's coming out. It's got so and so. I like this person, this and that. Here's the promotion of it, and then I'm not going to review it, right? If that's the case, if it's a show that I didn't really care about, it's like I'll say, okay, sure. I'm not going to lie to people and tell them you should watch. This is the best thing I've ever seen. I'll say, look, this is a fun show. They're excited about. It's got you can always change your words and do things where you're not lying to the audience. You could always do stuff like that.
So you wouldn't see The Flash and say, this is the greatest superhero movie ever made. You guys should go watch it.
Look at you. I know what you do. You're right back there taking a shot.
Just saying.
Taking a shot at the guy.
Don't tell me he doesn't lie.
Beagle Studios. Kristian, I love you. But for once, I agree with Rocha.
Hey.
Gunn being the center of Superman is too ego stroking for him. This should be about David, Rachel, and Nick. I think it is, though, also.
How?
TikTok is all about them. I think they're everywhere. And I think that if this movie is a hit, I think you're going to start to see James Gunn step back a little bit. I think he's doing the heavy lifting and the promoting. I think he's going to take a step back. I think he's doing the heavy lifting.
What happens if it's not a hit?
That's true. I mean, he's going to take the brunt. Corn Sweat and Brosnan are not going to take the hit if this thing does bad. He's going to take the hit. Yeah.
I don't think it'll do bad, but you can't predict it now. Like you said, Minecraft, no one saw 900 million coming from that.
Yeah.
No one saw Fall Guy falling apart at the box office, and it's a good movie.
I mean, it wasn't bad. Hank Pym, Yeet, is Gunther the best current wrestler? When's the Goldberg thing? Is that this Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday.
Okay. To me, he's the most old school wrestler that when I'm growing up as a kid, he could have fit in during the golden era.
He could have fought Harley Race. He's so old school.
Totally. He's so old school. He's one of my favorites because he to me reminds me of like what they used to, and I don't really see a lot of interviews with him.
Yeah.
He's not like I understand now that the precedent's been set and you get people who are just the curtain is just wide open. And no one's even trying to pretend anything else. It's a TV show and they're characters, right? They even refer. I just watched Chris Van Vliet's interview with Rhea Ripley, and she.
Oh, great!
Yes, constantly reviews her the character of. And that's where the business is now.
Yep.
Gunther, to me, lives as Gunther, whether or not he does or not.
I don't think he'd break character at all.
Doesn't seem like he does. And Undertaker was like that too for a very long time.
For a long time, yeah. He got mad when people would try to break kayfabe.
It's old school. Yeah. Parker Haller, who says when Man of Steel came out, it was trying to compete with Marvel. Marvel can't even be Marvel anymore. Thunderbolts was good and lost money. Superman just has to beat itself right now. I mean, when it's also got to take some of that box office away from Jurassic World.
Yeah. It was trying to compete with Marvel. It's still trying to compete with Marvel. What world do you think you're living in? Fantastic Four is 2 weeks away.
Right.
It is absolutely going to be competing with Marvel.
I think yes, you're right. But I also think what he means there is that the juggernaut that Marvel was
at the time.
Like,
yeah, but that's not what killed Man of Steel in the long run, even though it made $600-something million.
No.
And I find it fascinating that people are like, no, it doesn't need to make that much in the six. I mean, Man of Steel made $674 million and Warner Brothers went into panic mode. And so, this is the thing. And I know some people say that the landscape is different. It's not. As I said, Deadpool and Wolverine can make $1 billion. Superman should be making a billion. No, I don't think it will, but it should be. If it's great and it's beloved, I think it could absolutely go to $1 billion.
It's not that easy to make $1 billion anymore.
Not post-COVID. You're right.
Yeah, so it's not as easy. I mean, the Deadpool Wolverine thing, it happened, and it's possible. That's why I don't agree with people when they say it's not possible. But like, it's not easy. I mean, look, Minecraft. We both thought with the meteoric rise that thing had. Oh, nothing's hit $1 billion this year. Nothing. Except the one film in China, I believe, right? But nothing.
Oh, right, yeah.
Nothing that came out here has.
I don't think Lilo and Stitch is. Oh, there's probably the closest.
Close. Yeah. Double check. See what Lilo and Stitch is at. But I'm gonna bet you it's like 935, if I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
Which is still a whiles away before they can get to $1 billion. Asol, as a Mariners fan, I need to inform you both that they're playing the Yankees tomorrow. And the man chasing Judge for MVP is like a big dumper, and he has a stripper booty with a battling.
Wow,
I know that's a lot of content there. The stupid Mets took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. At least they didn't get swept.
Yeah, Yanks. I don't know what's going on, man.
July 4th, I went to my friend's birthday party. Everybody there was a freaking Met fan. It was like, they won that game by 1. Yeah, I mean the day after they beat the piss out of them, but then yeah.
We're in trouble, man.
Yeah. All right, let's see. This is the next one.
Hey,
Parker Haller. If Superman makes over 800 million, over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a cinema score, will Rocha still say that Gunn shouldn't have directed it?
When did I ever say he shouldn't have directed it?
You did say that. You said it last week with me.
He shouldn't have directed it?
Yes, 1,000% you said that. Dude, that's videotape. That's
somebody find the videotape. If
you said you don't think he was the guy, that he shouldn't have directed it to start. You absolutely said it.
No. I don't know why I would ever say that. I don't know why I would ever say that.
Someone's going to clip it out.
No. Someone clip it out. And exactly, it has to be word for word what Kristian said.
You said
the idea that I said Gunn should never have directed
to start this whole thing. You said he shouldn't.
That doesn't make sense to me that I would ever say that, because I don't recall ever having an issue that he was.
Oh, people are going to comb through it now, so I don't even have to ask.
Please,
just and tag us both on Twitter.
Yes, tag us, and I'll totally admit.
Yeah, it's either from last week or the week prior, but
find it.
I remember. I have a shit memory, and I remember that very clear.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Next one is Hank Pym.
Yeah.
Superman week. Haven't been this excited for a movie since Endgame. Well, there you go. What is the most hype you've been for a movie and or biggest letdown of a movie?
Ooh.
I mean, I was pretty hyped up for Force Awakens. I mean, pretty hard to not be hyped up for that. I mean, I was hyped up. Biggest letdown of a movie that I saw that I was like, oh, that stinks, or just like, man, I mean, there's tons of them. I'm sure that I looked.
Yeah.
I'd have to go and look and be like, oh man, that was a real bummer.
I'll go all the way back to like the 2010s or something, like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Sean Connery's last film. I thought it was going to be a banger because I love that Alan Moore graphic novel, and that film was just not good.
I mean, I guess even
BVS.
BVS is one too. I would say maybe
super disappointing.
Stick with Star Wars and say Last Jedi, even though it was the second time I saw it, I kind of Kool-Aided myself into liking it. But I think the first time I didn't even tweet about it. I was tweeting about it. I was like, I don't know what I felt about it.
Dude, the hype over Last Jedi, people forget. It was massive.
Yeah, it was massive.
Just Force Awakens, I thought was a damn good movie, made well over $1 billion. The trailers for Last Jedi were amazing. People like Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
They handed him a trilogy before they came out. That even made people even more excited to see
that. That apparently is still going to happen.
Yeah,
that was my favorite thing that ever like this. I can't tell you how many times it's happened with Lucasfilm where they're like, "We're not doing this," and then that's like 5 seconds later they do it. But this just happened. They go. She goes, "We're no longer doing trilogies. Here's all the movies you got. You got 2 trilogies on there. You got Rian Johnson's trilogy and you got Kinberg's trilogy. You just said no trilogies. What are you talking about? Literally, you just said it. Hell it is. No trilogies. What's that? 2 trilogies? Well, what does that mean? That there's 2 trilogies. Oh, okay. What are you talking about?
These are going to be standalone movies.
Yeah.
That maybe characters from previous movies will show up in. Wait, what?
Let's bring it back. Let's just do that again. When we've never done that, we never said that before, except the first time we said it. It's like, what are you talking about? Callum,
it's okay to get upset about double speak. You're right. It is.
Guardians 3 with Sam tomorrow. The answer is it's being edited. The question is, I don't know if I'm going to drop it tomorrow. I might drop it on Wednesday.
Right on.
Because I have so much coming out tomorrow. I have I mean, it's possible I might drop it later on, but I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to do that. I've got the Superman Out of the Theater dropping probably at like 2 p.m.
Oh,
or 12. No, wait, 12. I see it at 12. So yeah, it'll drop at 2.
Oh, wow.
p.m. And then it's going to be right. It's going to be like right when shoot. It's going to be tough. I'm going to drop it Out of the Theater reaction while Roxy and Mike are on the air. You know, so it's like that's going to be tough. And then I'm coming back here. I'm not sure if I'm going to drop it on Wednesday because then Friday we start Loki season 2.
Are you going to counter program on your own channel?
I have to. I can't not post the Out of the Theater reaction. I got to see it like immediately, and then I got to post it, and then it's just I might see if it's going to have to be. It's like, you know, they're only going to be like, it's going to be like 3 minutes, so you can watch the Out of the Theater and then you can go watch the live one. Mike Joyce, I don't have an issue with James Gunn's PR tour. Superman is the beginning of the DCU. It makes sense they'd want to hype it up. I don't think John's arguing that they want to hype it up. I think that he's arguing that he should be the one who's hyping it up. Right.
Sometimes I'm not going to say this. I want to say this one. Anyway.
All right, don't say it. Jim 1. Interested to see how Superman does outside the U.S. as the character historically isn't as big overseas as Spider-Man, Batman, X-Men. Could this change? This is why I was arguing and I've been consistent in my argument that Jurassic World will be the biggest internationally because of that reason. I think that domestically, I think Superman is going to win domestic. I do now. I think that Fantastic Four will be right behind. I think it goes Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic. And internationally, I think it goes Jurassic, Fantastic Four, Superman internationally.
Yeah, because I mean, Superman has always been seen as an intrinsically American character.
Yeah.
So whereas dinosaurs don't have an American connection or politics or anything like that. So I think that's at times what's kind of held Superman back a little bit. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't do that well internationally.
Mike Joyce, keep being you, Rocha. Don't let the gun bros get to you. You
I don't.
Yeah.
They really do think they affect me, and they don't.
86 thus far, John.
Hey, thank you.
100 again, 3 weeks in a row of 100. We'll see. Carlton Rudder, London calling. What's up, Carlton? Jurassic crushed it. Some solid action sequences with a mediocre movie. Universal rolls in those dino dollars. Support from the UK. That's the other thing. We didn't really discuss it. They're definitely going to make another one.
I don't know.
Dude, are you kidding? You don't think they're going to make another Jurassic?
If this one becomes a wet fart over the next 2 weeks and peters out like, then I don't know if they'll make another one necessarily. So
we'll talk about it over our 2 steak dinners.
You think it's going to make $400 million more at the box office?
It's what 315 right now?
315.
Yes, it's going to make it. Yes, internationally, it's going to. Yes.
Yeah.
Tai. I'm going mad dreaming of a pie of white za topped with meatballs and fresh garlic. That's pretty good, actually. What's your favorite pizza toppings? I'll tell you, 2 that have been getting a lot here. There's a place over here, the burrata slice with they put balsamic vinegar on it. It's really freaking good. And then I'll get mushrooms sometimes.
I haven't had a pizza in 3 or 4 months.
Nice.
I've now lost 40 pounds. I'm down to 224.
You.
224.
You were at 274?
I was at 264.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's I mean, some of the pictures I look at myself just a few months ago is discuss how much I deluded myself that I was still okay. It's pretty crazy. But like, yeah, I'm happy where I'm at, but dude, pizza. Let me tell you my topping and a basic B. I like pepperoni, chicken, green peppers, black olives, and mushrooms. That's my top five.
Basic. That's a lot of good. Yeah, I was only that's still when I do my cheats. That's what I do. I do pizza. Doug,
when I get down to two, if I get down to 215, I'll start occasionally cheating. Yeah,
I ate like an asshole this past weekend. though. I really did. Like for the July 4th weekend.
What's wrong with that?
I really did this weekend. I kind of overdid it, but and I went with the kids yesterday, and my little one has a real bad sweet tooth. We went to this place. We found this ice cream place where they really like it, and so we went there, and I told the woman to my little one, I could give her one scoop because she's small, she's
right.
And I turned my back for a second. The woman cracks on 2 scoops.
Of course,
and the little one looked like she just struck gold. And I said, "Get back!" She no chance. I would get my hand bitten off.
Yeah, it's not. You're not going home with this spazzed out child. I am. Take
right.
those scoops off.
It was early enough in the day. It wasn't at night, so it was like I was like, okay. But normally,
turn it off.
Yeah. Doug Developer. I saw The Wedding Singer in '98. Still one of my. It's still my favorite Adam Sandler movie. And 1985 felt so long ago. It's true. It was only 13 years in between. Right now, I'm 37, and 13 years can feel like a flicker. I was just thinking about this the other day. I was just thinking about this. You feel time keeps going faster as you get older. 1,000%. I literally was just thinking about the very similar situation that when you saw a movie in like 1985, and there was and it was based on it took place in 1975. It felt like years prior. It's like a movie today that came out that was set in 2015. It's like nothing. Right? It's just like that. Right.
Some of the songs. I saw a song the other day that was like 30 years old. I mean, get the hell out of here. This thing's 30 years old. Crazy.
Yeah. Tristan Green. Rocha's out of the theater reaction might break the internet. This is my prediction. This will be his most viewed video on his channel all time. Yeah. Oh, it will be. Like 100%. 100%. It'll be your most viewed. This will be your most viewed thing that you've ever had. I
don't think people care as much as you guys think people care.
They're gonna go just to tell you you're a fucking asshole.
Oh yeah, well, fair, probably
100%. This will 100%.
I have no life. I must insult yours. Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Normally you're a professional. Take that gum and shove it in your asshole.
I have to chew. It's part of the diet plan. But all right.
Come on the air. I mean, you know better.
It's sometimes because if I get a sweet tooth, I got to put gum in there. All right, so here's my top viewed video. It was the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse spoiler review. 80,000 views on that.
Okay, that's live, or that's there's two.
That was live. Yes.
Okay.
The only one I've ever done that isn't live that was big was the Batman. Oh no, those are all spoiler reviews. Those are all live. So all my live stuff has gotten live.
Live you have that 80K. Then the regular videos is top.
Regular videos.
You're 58K. You don't have any shorts on your channel?
No, I'm about to start doing that with a person you with. Yeah.
He's the best. He was at the
great conversation.
He's a really good.
My video that is not live, my top video is not live, was the Top Gun Maverick video I did, which is 58,000.
Okay. So that's going it's going to beat that.
But Craven is my highest out of theater reaction, which shocked the shit out of me. 52,000 on that.
It'll beat that. It's going to beat that.
Really?
Yes. Artem. Maybe Gunn is putting himself at the center of Superman to protect actors if the movie bombs. Remember what happened to actors after The Last Jedi? Execs went into hiding and actors got all the hate. It's not a bad point, John. Not a bad point.
If you're confident in your movie, why do you think you're doing? Why are you doing?
What if he's also being a shield?
Okay.
You don't think that could be an option? That he's
no. Knowing what I know about him and his ego, there's no way I think he's doing this because he wants to protect the actors.
Okay. I think that's possible.
Okay.
I think that's possible.
Okay.
Tyler. The feud, the farts make the announcement. Harloff Schmodown is coming back. First match is Rocha versus Gunn. I mean, you're kidding? That would be a great way to bring it back. It was the only time, James Gunn actually tweeted. There was something that we did. There was some clip from when we were doing. It was during Titans, and there was something some question that we had, and we tagged him on it, and he retweeted it, and he responded to it, and he did. He put it wound up getting a lot of views because he did that. But he saw the clip. He was aware of the Schmodown, but. Yeah, long time ago. 91, John, 91 currently. 91. So just 9 away from getting 100, 3 weeks in a row.
Derek when you need him?
I know. That's just without Derek. It's pretty impressive.
I know. Thank you.
Let's see. So again, thank you, Tyler. Julius Wyatt. I can't believe Superman's actually here. Feels like that first trailer came out years ago with all the news. Jurassic World Rebirth is total crap. that's a different conversation.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, whether you think it's good or not. I thought it was just a generic. That opening scene is atrocious.
The first 20 minutes are atrocious.
But come on, the Snickers bar thing.
The Snickers bar was stupid.
It was atrocious. I couldn't believe it. I said, "This is what we're in for." Thank God it didn't get that stupid.
These are intelligent scientists, and he's going to sit there and go, "Oh, I just dropped a Snickers bar. No big deal."
So dumb. It was so dumb. I like that part of it. But look, the last two Jurassic World I thought were atrocious. Before this is the best one I think out of the since the first one.
I have to disagree with you because. Okay. The only reason I disagree with you is because I think the other ones actually tried to do something, even though it was crazy and wacky with locusts or dinosaurs climbing on the roofs and shit. Like or an auction for dinosaurs. At least it was crazy. Like they were swinging for the fences. This is so simple.
It's simple. It's generic.
Yeah, it's generic. It felt like Gareth Edwards was tracing what Spielberg did in '93.
I don't blame him for this movie, by the way.
Oh, I think I really if you sign on to direct a movie, you will take all the praise and the blame. That's how it goes.
The reason why is I don't think that I think they hired him to just say, "Hey, this is what we want. Can you give this to us?" And he said, "Sure." And that's what he gave them. I don't think that he was asked to do anything except give them a generic movie, and that's what he did. I think he did the assignment, and I think he will be rewarded for it because this movie is going to make over $700 million, and I'm going to have some steak.
Yeah, with Gareth. We'll invite Gareth.
Or it might cancel it out. It might cancel it out. I might owe you nothing.
Yeah,
you might owe me nothing.
That would be great.
Yeah. Tyler, Rocha, be honest. There's no cameras. No one's there.
Okay.
You have access to Gunn's office with a bottle of Fort spray the bottle is empty when you walk out.
No way. I would never do that. That's ridiculous.
Fart spray.
What am I, 12?
What do you mean? Something I would do. Zeus Fleming.
I don't wish ill will on James Gunn. That's nonsense. Yeah.
Zeus Fleming. How about them Blue Jays? Great chat, gents. Please, no Blue Jay talking here, but that was very nice.
Blue Jays in first? Oh, wow.
That was very nice. Clay Titus. Hey, Rocha. I really like that quote about going through tough times on your show. Yeah. Thanks for that, but you're still an A-word hole. Just kidding, old man.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was a quote. I saw it over the weekend. I think it was Dustin Rhodes who posted it, actually, Kristian. He said, "For those of you who are concerned about getting through tough times and you're not sure if you can, look at your track record. You're undefeated getting through tough times so far, so you'll get through this one." And I thought that was amazing. It was so well written. It's simple yet brilliant. So.
Yep. RJ McReady. Hey, John, on behalf of all of us YouTube chatters, I just want to thank you for all the work you put in over the years in regards to studying the human condition.
Thank you, RJ. I appreciate that. I have studied the human condition. And
favorite.
Someone who uses an avatar and someone else's name from a movie needs to have a lot of mental health going on.
Come on, that was funny. That was funny. Come on, give him credit. That was good. Nathan Drake.
I've studied it more than him. That's for sure.
That was hilarious. Nathan Drake. I know the Superman review Rocha is looking forward to the most is Coy and the Real Reason.
Yeah.
Will Roxy give her review on tomorrow's show? Of course. Oh, yeah. Roxy will give her thoughts on.
Oh, is she seeing it tonight as well?
She already saw it. She saw it.
Well, that's right.
She went to that screening. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. But can she do the review tomorrow? I thought it was embargoed.
Embargo drops. The embargo drops tomorrow, like around. I can tell you exactly when the.
Oh yeah.
Drops. Because the social embargo drops tonight.
Yeah.
Let me double check. I'll tell you right now.
Okay.
The social embargo drops at 9:00 your time tonight.
Right.
So that's yes. So by the time you get out, you can drop yours. The review drops tomorrow at 3 p.m. my time. So 12 o'clock your
12 o'clock my time.
So she'll be able to talk about it.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, right around an hour into the movie. She'll be able to do into the show. So they'll have to hold when the reviews are in, they'll have to hold their main topic because that's going to be the topic for tomorrow. Yeah. They're going to have to hold it until that time. So the Richard art, Rocha playing the Kryptonian heel. It's hilarious.
Do you guys know how to spell heel? It's with 2 E's. Jesus Christ.
Thanos was right. What's your thoughts on Gunn's UK Variety interview? What was it? Did you see it?
I did not see it. But again, another interview. Anyway, I
in the movie.
Where's David Cornsweat's interviews?
He's got a bunch too.
A bunch.
Did I tell you? I don't know. I don't know if I did. If I talked about, I can't remember if I talked about this on my live stream or talked about it on this channel. I mean, the members live stream. So we had an interview. PLD, right? And he goes, check your email. And I was like, okay. And it said, hey, would you be interested in having Nathan Fillion?
Oh,
Corn Sweat,
Wow.
Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult. I said, I'll take all of them.
Yeah.
Separate. And Corin Sweat was going to be in New York so I'd do it live.
Nice.
All of them. So like, okay, great. We'll be back in touch. I said, great. This is going to be amazing for the channel.
Yeah.
And in fact, I want to talk to them. And week goes by, nothing. And like 2 weeks goes by, nothing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I was like, they reached out to me. So I'm like, okay. So then I follow back up. I was like, hey, just looking, to follow back up. I'm very interested.
Yeah.
Ghosted. Nothing. Not a peep. So I was like, yeah, all right. I guess that didn't happen for me.
Wow,
that happens. Whatever. I didn't care. Who cares? Go pal. My network's at mic level today, but support. Thank you. Mike. I mean, that's pretty bad if you have mic levels.
Oh, his internet.
Yeah. Nathan Drake, who says, you got to have Rocha on tomorrow, please. I'm going to send him the stream. As long as he doesn't charge me for it, he can join.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on Roxy and Mike. I don't want to crash there. If they want me on, I will happily come on tomorrow.
Let's see how you feel about the movie first.
Oh, that's a fair point.
You know what I mean? Like maybe because it doesn't really make too much of a difference, but it's like if Roxy can talk about it, and then you guys can share your thoughts at like the 3 o'clock time once the embargo drops. Maybe we have you come on. Rashad Green,
has he seen it? Has he seen
what?
It?
No, Callan hasn't seen it yet. No.
Oh, okay.
Rashad Green, hey, Kristian, did you know why John wasn't invited to Mark Riley's 50th birthday party? John, do you forgive Mark?
I don't know why I wasn't invited.
I don't know.
I was like, I saw the video and I'm like, you got Finstock on there, you've got Snyder on there, but no one invites me to do a video for Mark Riley. So I don't know. Someone in Mark Riley's sphere must have an issue. I know Mark and I don't have an issue that I know of. So I don't know why that went down the way it did. I mean, Rachel edited it. Rachel and I, she's commented recently on social media posts that I've made. So I don't know what the issue is. I would have gladly come up for Riley's 50th. So,
well, as my grandfather, was a wise man, always used to say, leave me out of it. Tiberius Monk. Hello, Kristian and John. Name a scene that you dislike in a DC film you otherwise like.
Ooh.
Name a scene you like in a DC film you otherwise dislike. Stay awesome, gents. Hope Superman is awesome. We need hope. Thank you, Tiberius. Name a scene that you dislike in a DC film you otherwise like. What's a movie that I like?
I hate the Joker scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Even though I love that movie. 4 hours, I love that movie.
Yeah.
That scene with the Joker is just so useless in that movie.
Yeah. Well, The Dark Knight Rises, I love. I hate the Marion Cotillard death. It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst. It's so bad.
I can't believe I seduced you. Just end up here. Yeah. Exactly.
Name a scene that you like in a DC film you otherwise dislike.
What scene you like?
I have to think which ones that I dislike.
I think I'll go Suicide Squad. I do not like that movie.
The Suicide or Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad. I like James Gunn's.
Yeah.
No, the first Suicide Squad. I didn't like the movie, but I loved the Batman scene.
Oh, it was pretty good too. There was a couple of scenes. Yeah, there's a few scenes in that movie that I feel the same way about. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Next one. Let's see. And we're at 98, John. You're almost there.
So close.
Yep. Richard's art. Are you guys fans of Concrete Blonde and or Wall of Voodoo there in Texas?
I remember Concrete Blonde in the 90s. They had a song called Joey that I really liked, but that was probably the only song I know from them.
I feel like I do. I feel like I have a few songs, but I'm not to call myself a fan, but I think that I'm not a fan. How about that?
Yeah.
Special ed. Are you going to the Kill Bill Whole Bloody Affair at the Vista? It's only screened twice ever. It's showing for 2 weeks, and the first week is sold out. Wow, that's great. No, I mean I won't be going, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I mean, the way they're deporting people, I'm staying off the roads, going into other places. I'm trying to.
You keep saying that, but weren't you? How could you? How would that even happen to you?
I'm trying because I'm the son of immigrants, and they said over the weekend they're going to start looking at denaturalizing people who are in this country. So if they denaturalize my mom, who is a legal immigrant that went through all the channels, then my citizenship is revoked, isn't it? So they could grab me. Yeah, so you never know.
We have an international channel. All right, so let's Julius.
Hi from El Salvador here in the prison. This Superman sucked. Let me tell you.
Right. Julius Wyatt. Andrew kind of looks like the warden in Shawshank. You know who?
Andrew Freed. No.
Yeah, you know who he used to get all the time, and he still gets it. Tom Sizemore used to get it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He actually, so much so that he ran into, and obviously the late great Tom Sizemore, when he ran into Tom Sizemore at it was at a drugstore, and he was talking. He goes, people say I look like you, and Sizemore looks at him. He goes, I can see it. Telling you, I wasn't lying at the end there. Andrew has the most amazing stories.
That's awesome.
Ever. If you go back and look at the interview in the far back, he has a picture of Tyson with Ali. He took that picture.
Wow.
He took that picture. And like his stories are incredible. They're incredible.
I respect you with Ali.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if he's got a Mike Tyson story.
Oh.
All I'll say is this. Imagine that you're producing a show and Mike Tyson is screaming in your face.
Oh my God.
Just imagine. That's all I can say.
You're making me look like an idiot.
Because I don't want to tell the whole story because I don't know the whole thing all the way through. Plus, I'd let him tell it. But his stories are out of control.
How much would you love to interview him? Oh,
Tyson, I got close. I got close a few different times. Gopal rebooted the modem in the router. It looks like I'm back. Oh,
all right.
And maybe so because John has now 2 weeks in a row, 100. 3 weeks in a row, 100 plus. Look at that. Starting it up 101 actually.
Rumors of your hate have been grossly exaggerated.
I know. Tiberius Monk. Hello again. I hope DC Studios goes with the Bat family and goes fantastic. It's a great way to differentiate from Pattinson Batman. Thoughts? John doesn't like this. He's holding his head.
I love being a fellow comic book nerd with you guys.
Yeah.
But you got to deal with the reality of the casuals, and the casuals are not going to go, Man Bat. It's just not going to be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people nowadays don't want to necessarily lose themselves in silly stuff, and so I don't know if that would work. The Bat.
I don't know enough about it, but if it's silly and I wouldn't want that either.
Yeah.
Chris Cosson.
Hey.
I hope that Jensen Ackles is in the running because I can see him as Bruce and as Batman. And most of the actors I'm seeing suggested by fans I can only see as Bruce or Batman. The duality is essential. I agree that it's essential, but I'm telling you, you guys know my pick. I've been quiet on it recently because I don't want to keep overdoing it, but I do think that there's another one in here that I like. For me, my top three of these.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brendan Skinner is number one.
Yes, he is.
Hartnett is number two. 3 is Jensen. Those are my 3.
You know what I was watching over the weekend, which I got to finish the last 2 episodes today? Sandman.
Oh, that guy?
Tom Sturridge is an interesting choice for Batman because he's got that kind of Robert Pattinson energy, but in a different way. So he could be an interesting choice where you kind of find that middle ground where he has that energy, but he's a little more of the James Gunn type of approach. So I like him as an actor. I like that. And that second season has been good so far.
Gopal, hot take. Banner Hulk isn't as bad as you think.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'll tell you the part that I did like about it, though, I still like about it, is when the thing with the tank.
Yeah.
To me, that was like classic Hulk, the stuff that I love. But other than that, the movie's a mess. With, I'm your dad. I'm
a Hulk, too.
Yeah.
A Teen Wolf moment. Get out of here.
You're bad. Teen Wolf. I almost watched that last night. It's great. It's where Finstock originated. People don't realize that. Finstock originated.
Finstock on the top of the van.
That's where it came from. The IRS is breathing down my neck like some kind of personal vendetta against Bobby Finstock. The Richards art regarding Eccles. I guess I see him more as a brother than a superhero billionaire. Get me either another comedic actor or an unknown. But I mean, I think that's the thing, right? Is that even like where I will agree with John with what TV actors do, though. TV actors are kind of essentially to a lot, depending on what the show is. Even though Supernatural ran for a very long time, that he's not a well-known name, like a super well-known name, like what I would say is like there's a huge Supernatural fandom. There's a huge and basically if you said to people more so, who is that? The guy from Supernatural. Oh, I know who that is. That's usually where you're going to get his name, the recognizable to. I'm talking about the casual, not the Comic Con people, not the hardcore pop culture. The average person walking on the street now. If I said, "Hey, do you know who Jensen Ackles is?" They'd go, "No." I go, "The guy from Supernatural." Oh yeah, I know who that is. As opposed to, "Hey, do you know who that who we had Roxy and I had this whole conversation last week about Adria Arjona. She said she's too big of, and she said she didn't say she's too big of a name. She said, "Do you think that she's a bigger name than like what Brosnahan was?" Or she's like, "It goes away with the corn sweat." I think that's she's in the same area.
No, I disagree. Because Brosnahan had both House of Cards
I'm saying she's bigger. Brosnahan right?
Bigger.
Roxy. So you're saying
Adria's not even the lead of Andor. Right? It'd be different if she was the lead of Andor.
Right. You know? Yeah. I'm with you. All right. Yeah. Dalton Lapriche, Jurassic Park review. Mahershala Ali looked cool in that beret. That's it. Yeah. Those characters were nothing. There was nothing to those characters.
Let's have a trauma bonding scene that goes nowhere.
Nowhere. No one cares about your problems.
Yeah.
Your problems were no one cares. Yeah. We got divorced.
Who is Maureen?
Right. They're divorced. What's going on with the kid? I don't even know the kid. Is the kid? The kid was alive. The kid was. I don't even know what happened. Who knows? Yeah.
It was a picture. That's what he was.
And then how? And I don't want to do is there's something that happens at the end. I'm like, how did that happen?
I just thought that they tried to tell you that he cares about kids. He's trying to save kids.
Right.
He brought the kids to an island with dinosaurs.
Right. He could have. He
could have turned the boat around, went all the way back, dropped them off, and then came back.
Yeah. As John Lovitz would say, "There's no logic here." RQMD Support for John. I'm really enjoying the show today. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Always listen to the show on Apple Podcasts. You can always listen to it on Spotify and the Clips channel. Tons of clips. Pooch shoot, Ryan. Roman Reigns as Kratos in the God of War show. Take care. Can he act? That's the
find out in Street Fighter.
Well, are we really going to find out?
That's a fair point.
That cast is crazy. It's a crazy cast.
That's a cast that's going to get high all the time or be involved in bar brawls all the time. It's a crazy cast.
What's smart about that cast, though, the promotion of that movie is going to be phenomenal. I mean, Andrew Schultz is going to promote it alone.
Oh, Schultz. Oh,
but he's going to promote the shit out of that movie.
I know. The thing with, if I'm a young actor getting into that position, I am going right up to 50 Cent and I am becoming friends with 50 Cent.
Yeah.
And I am saying to him, please help me create an empire like you've built. I want to learn everything from you.
Right.
Because that's what you do if you're a young actor on set with an actor like that.
Yeah. It's a crazy cast. Chris Constant. Also, both Ackles and Arjona are very plugged into the fandom in general. If it's not them, I trust Gunn since he's been consistent and great in casting great talent. That you agree with.
100%. I also agree that James Gunn directs the hell out of movies. He's a good director. He's a good to great director for those kinds of movies. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt.
No doubt. Andy Kumar, have you ever met Joe Rogan? I'm assuming you're talking to me. Yes, many times. I used to perform at the Comedy Store with him all the time. I remember when I just got made a regular there. He came up to me. He goes, "Oh, I almost punched you in the face. I thought you were Dane Cook," is what he said to me. But no, he used to go up. He was gone for like 45 minutes to an hour, and I remember a couple of times I had to go up right after him. But he was always very nice to me. Very nice to me. Yeah, I used to see him at the store. I see him at the Improv all the time. He was very nice to me. Yeah.
Cool.
So yes, I met him a handful of times. Beto Power. F1 cost $200 million. It might not break 400, like what you did there with the break. It might be success to Apple only because they couldn't care less about money lost. Great visual though. Yeah, but I don't know what the marketing was like. I'm telling you, that movie is when it comes to Apple, I think that they measure success in a very different way.
I'd love to know where you think they're not breaking. Like, what information do you have, Beto Power? Go try to get a ticket in an IMAX screening right now of F1.
Yeah,
and let me know what it looks like, and what city you're in, because this thing is going to hold on and make money. It may not I think it's going to do really well for what
it'll do 400. And
the fact that it's already beaten in 2 weeks, it's already beaten everything Apple's put out ahead already. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah. Anything geeky. Ironheart sucked in my opinion. It was like it was written in phase 2 before Iron Man 2. It undercut everything Tony went through. Just bad writing. I just didn't think the writing was great. I thought, and it seemed like they just kept repeating the same beats. I thought she was great. I thought the relationship she had with her AI was fantastic. I liked that dynamic. That was the emotional stuff that weighed. I thought Anthony Ramos had a good arc for a bit, and then it just dropped. I thought that the last episode was great, or the things that happened in the last episode with the character that appears, it worked really well. I thought that person was fantastic. But it was just like there were a couple times I'm like, let's go.
But he's such a good actor now that it felt like he was playing at the kiddies table.
Ramos?
Like it really did. Yeah. No.
Who the person
who shows up?
Yes,
like,
yeah.
if you haven't seen Disclaimer on Apple TV with him and Kate Blanchett, he's incredible in that series. Him and Kevin Kline and Kate Blanchett. And so when he showed up, I mean, he was like at the kiddies table at a family function. Like he was just lobbing the balls back and forth like easily. And that's the thing where I was like, wow, why would you take this role? I hope there's bigger stuff.
He probably accepted it also during the height of Marvel.
That's true. So I hope he was right, because this has been delayed for quite some time.
They showed this trailer at D23 in 2022.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Shoot Riot. Rocha, I have a game suggestion. Check out Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It's a phenomenal turn-based RPG. Charlie Cox and Circus do voices in it. Oh, you got me with that.
Okay. Yeah, I just finished Ghost of Tsushima over the weekend. Incredible game. I went off for like 10 minutes on it yesterday on my live stream, and it's just such a fucking great game. Sorry.
Better Call Saul. What do you think about J.J. Abrams returning to directing films? He directed the highest grossing film ever, but no one thinks he's great. You know what he does very well is he's great in setting things up. He was Mission Impossible 3. I think is it you that said it's your favorite out of the three? It's your favorite.
It's in the top 3 for sure.
Mission, it might be, I don't remember. It's somebody on the show's favorite. Maybe Kalinowski's. Either way, he is very good at setting things up. He set up, didn't he direct the pilot for Lost? I think he did.
Yes.
He's very good at setting things up. At Force Awakens, he's not a great closer. He's a good starter. He's just not a good closer.
He's going to give you a solid 6 or 7 innings.
Yeah. Right. So I'd like to see what he does, but I don't mean this is going to sound mean, and it's not supposed to. Okay. I just don't think he's as great as maybe the people behind him expect us to believe he is. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of promoted as like this Spielbergian type guy, and he's not in that category. He's just not. He's very good at making movies and fun movies, but he's not in that. He's not in that category. He's not even close.
Yeah, he's good at making those kinds of films. Yeah, absolutely. And look, his Star Trek was damn good as well. The 2009 Star Trek, again, great beginning, but then Into Darkness wasn't as strong. And so, yeah, he's not the best closer, but he's a damn. I even like I'll defend Super 8.
Yeah, I wanted to love Super 8. I remember going to see that movie, wanting to love it, and left going, you know what? I wanted to feel about Super 8 the way I felt about Stranger Things the first time I saw it.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah.
Larry Hortowitz, proud Snyder bro here, and very excited. Going tomorrow, and I can't wait. I need a live action Superman in my life. Hopefully, Gunn can unite the fandom eventually. I mean, that's the magic. I love that comment, by the way. And that is what Kalinowski is, right? Kalinowski, people don't realize Kalinowski was a huge defender of the Snyder.
Yes,
huge. He just over people bitching. He's like, it's gone. We don't have it anymore. Now you got to go with the new thing. You DC fan? Or are you just a Snyder fan? You gotta if you want DC to continue on, this is who is leading the team right now. So you got to support the team.
Well, I don't know if you got to support the team. You got to see what the result is, and then see if you want to keep supporting the team. But but you should give the manager a chance.
That's what I mean. And the baseball
give him a chance.
Look, I mean, I don't like your I don't like your lineup. I don't know if your lineup's going to win championships, but if the first game people are hitting home runs left and right and they win by 15 points, you go, okay, look, maybe this guy put together a good team.
Yeah.
Terrence F. I'm not sure why people don't get it. You can't not like Gunn's approach with the marketing and still be hopeful that the movie is great or enjoyable.
What?
Let's see if that's true. You can't not like his approach with the marketing and still be hopeful that the movie is great or enjoyable. He's saying that you can't not like his approach with the marketing and still be hopeful. He's saying you can't. I don't think that's true. John's still hopeful. He doesn't like his approach for the marketing, but he still hopes it's going to be good. I think.
Sometimes you don't like the way your dad does things. You still hope your dad does the right thing and that you enjoy what your dad is doing, don't you? I mean, like I always bring it back to family with this kind of stuff. Is like people say, "Oh, you can't criticize this because then you hate this thing." It's like, no, you criticize your family members, your friends all the time. Do you hate them? Like it's just like it's so dumb. So the thing was, look at it. Of course, you can criticize someone's approach.
Right.
And then go in and you like the movie. Charlie Chaplin was the biggest a-hole in Hollywood, and he delivered some of the most profound films ever made. John Ford was an utter prick to people on sets, and only John Wayne liked him, and when he wasn't fighting with him in fisticuffs, and they delivered some of the greatest Westerns. So it is nonsense to say that you have a problem with someone in the lead up and promotion to their movie and that you can't go in open-minded. That's a limited brain who thinks that.
Okay. All right, let's say this is the next one here, which I got to play because I was like, we haven't done this in quite a while. Where is it? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, here you go. Pooch Shoot Riot. Big balls versus grande balls about Gunn.
No.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You gotta do grande. Where's grande at? Come on, man. Where you at?
Is this grande? No. Is this grande? No.
I don't know. Uh-oh. Black background. Oh, fine. I'll take it. Where are you? No, you idiot. That's a robot. That's a stupid-ass robot. It's the top right. All the way up.
Is this it? No.
No, you idiot. It's the top right. No! You suck at this. You bad as they are. You go to the top right. It's the top right. All the way. Come on.
That's all I have.
Oh, my God. You make me sick.
I don't think I have it.
No, it looks like grande balls. He's gone. Can't hang. Can't hang. No, if you have that setting, go up. Here.
Right there.
Two more. Go one up, and then one more up.
Is this one? Oh.
Is it too late now?
¿Cómo está?
It's too late now.
No. Los pelotas son grandes.
It was good, but we got to get an animation of him. Hey guys, I know it's your job is to kind of track box office numbers. Average moviegoers, SGAF. What's that? What's SGAF?
Shouldn't give a
F. Okay. To be honest, as long as Soups and F both get sequels. Well, no, that doesn't work that way, unfortunately. If they're both good, you don't get sequels. That's actually not true at all.
Thunderbolts about their sequel.
Yeah, but it actually doesn't. It's not true, unfortunately. People always say, and I disagree. Look, I love Snyder. I disagree with him so much when he says, "Don't worry about budgets. Don't worry about this." It's the silliest thing anyone could say if you care about these movies, because of what they put into it. If you really want to see more of them, you should absolutely care, because sometimes you're a Black Adam fan, right? If you're a Black Adam fan. That movie, by the way, it made $400 million.
Yeah.
If it cost $120 million, you'd be getting the sequel to Black Adam.
Probably.
You would. You would have made almost 450 million or whatever, or almost 400, whatever it made. You would have been getting a sequel. But no, because it just broke even or lost money, you ain't seeing nothing. Yeah. But as far as the average moviegoers, they're not paying attention to the numbers the way we are. Correct. But it does matter how they do, because you're either going to get a sequel based off of profit or not.
Yeah, people get motivated when they see big box office numbers to go see a movie. So it does matter. It does affect.
Yeah. It does. Yeah. Okay, John, you're at 115, my friend. Pretty good. The Richards Art. Here's the deal. Full throttle. You're absolutely right. Gunn is banking everything on himself and his team. Let's ride.
Yeah, he is.
We're going to see how that's going to work.
Has anyone found that clip yet of me saying he shouldn't direct?
Someone's going to find it, and they're going to play. Yeah.
I'm checking
Dr. Brooklyn
constantly. See it.
Rocha, one of the things that you might, if you go to the Clips channel, it might be on the Clips channel, probably easier to find on the Clips channel.
Probably.
Dr. Brooklyn, Rocha, since you're out there splitting moms on the regular, will you split mine and possibly fall in love with her and be my stepfather? By the way, she just that is great.
That's amazing. No, I'm taken. Fortunately. So unfortunately for you, I am taken.
Dr. Brooklyn. McCovely CC. Sup, John? Just wanted to clear up the Neil Druckmann hate. It's three main reasons.
Okay.
I guess he's going to give us a little bit more. Yeah. But 117 right now. Here you go. Following up here. 1, Gamergate. Gamergate was an initiative to better represent lemon in video games and stop over-sexualized women, I think he meant. Stop over-sexualizing them. Neil was a huge advocate. 2, killing off Grifter's favorite dad. He killed Joel. To me, it was painful to see, but the game would never had been as good and get over 300 Game of the Year wins. 3, Jewish. He was neutral on the Israel situation and called out both sides. Okay,
why,
so maybe
why would you get in trouble for that?
He figures out. Neil got into Naughty Dog as an intern and rose to become studio head and creative lead. Naughty Dog is a top 2 development next to Rockstar, so I don't understand how people can be so vile just because of his opinions and story choices.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know much about all that stuff with Neil, because a lot of people expressed how much they didn't like him in the gaming community, but clearly the gaming community is just as crazy toxic as the film community or sports community. It's surprising to see that. But yeah, I mean, thanks for clearing that up, man. I had no idea.
Sparky, I never said Gunn shouldn't have directed it. I'm a very consistent person, and I study the human condition.
I do study the human condition. How do you think I messed with so many people in the Schmodown to get them to deliver some of their worst games against me? It's because I know how to mess with people.
That's right. Noah S. Gunn's the biggest name on this film. No duh, he's going to do a lot of the promo.
That's the way he said, no duh, I'm an adult. No duh.
How do you know that he's not going to say something nice about you in a second?
Go ahead. Read it. I'm a study of the human condition. I tell you, he's not going to say something
Gunn's
nice.
the biggest name in this film. No duh, he's going to be on doing a lot of promo. It's more likely people will watch it. They know it's his film. But the stars are also all over the promo. I don't know why Rocha's acting like they aren't, but Rocha's a very nice person, and I like his opinion.
No duh. No, you've barely seen them. You know, you've barely
wait.
Oh, it's more.
Not hating, by the way. I love you. See? You went out, you shit on poor Noah. He didn't do anything to you.
I don't say no duh. That's like
why not?
It's a 10-year-old to say that. Exactly.
The Richards art.
Yeah.
I also see the lack of confidence Disney has in their IP acquisition. Sad. Until further notice. What next? Confidence in which lack of which
IP acquisition? Like which
one? Marvel?
Is it Marvel?
I don't know which one you mean. I mean, they have quite a few IP.
Yeah. You got to be specific on that, Richard.
Yeah. The Badass Times. Jurassic will pass 500 before the weekend. Math.
You think he's going to make $200 million this week?
No, he's not saying. He said 500
before the,
how much? Before the weekend. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's going to make another 200, but within that week. But it's definitely going to make 700. I can't. If it makes 700, I'm flying to San Diego. I'm just telling you right now.
Do it. I'm not paying for that. I'll pay for the steak.
No, you're getting for the steak. That's fine. The Richards are you going to go to the Critics' Choice Awards?
I'm not going. I told you. I'm not leaving the house.
Not even close. Get it. All right. The Richards art. I'm down right now to 230. I ate pizza with pineapple and your mom.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Eric Lane, Kristian, why did Sam do a reaction to this Christmas special but not Werewolf by Night? Well, that's easy to answer. Easy to answer. The Christmas special stinks. No way. The Christmas special is awesome. First of all,
good.
She loved it, by the way. Werewolf by Night was really enjoyable. And Rocha, hashtag #RightAsHell. All right, let me answer.
Thanks, hail.
So easy. First of all, we got lucky. We're in Superman week, and James Gunn is, right now people are talking about him. We just happened to line up and do Christmas special, which leads into Guardians 3. Guardians
line up. You scheduled it for.
I swear to you, we didn't. I swear to you, we did. No, because of the way that
happy accident.
It was a happy accident. I promise. I mean, I'm definitely not bullshitting.
All right, James. Whatever you say, James.
Yeah, exactly. No, also because Ironheart's actually pushed. Had it not been for Ironheart, I didn't mean to say that. So
you're in trouble now.
No, but I pushed it. It was supposed to happen. We were supposed to say last week.
Yeah.
But we didn't. So anyway, so Guardians leads into Guardians 3 because you have to find out what the character's doing in between. Werewolf by Night, we're gonna wait until Halloween. It leads into nothing. It leads into absolutely nothing. So we will be. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I really do. I think Michael Giacchino did a great job. All right, 8 minutes left for John, and we are ready at right now 121. Wow. Hank Pym, what a campy getting the card trade. Meaning Kris Carr is on the show on Wednesdays now. It doesn't work like that. Zeus Fleming, I haven't seen
and she was available.
She was available.
Exactly.
Zeus Fleming, I haven't seen a Jurassic movie since the second Pratt movie. That seems so redundant. Yeah, but I'm not their audience. Their fans eat this crap up. I'm no better with my love to Marvel. Yeah, that's what it is, though.
Yeah,
the dinosaur people want to see dinosaurs. I said it in my reaction. I said, look, I have seen all of these movies. I have liked 2 of them.
Yeah,
I will go and see the next one with no problem. I don't know why. Every single time I'm not like, oh, another Jurassic movie. I can't wait. But I was like, yeah, but I'm always like, I want to see it. I don't know why. It has that magic sauce for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay, 122 for John now. Wow. As Tyler says, you're there. Gunn is in Office Bar with Farts. We did that one already.
Yeah. No, Tyler.
No, he's not going to do it. Special ed. What would you do if you walked into a bar and saw your good friend standing there getting pummeled? You mean like as far as him getting his ass kicked?
Well, I'd probably jump in. I imagine.
I mean, I assume that's happened before.
Yeah.
Pooch Shoot Riot. Rocha, I appreciate you being on for so long. 200 plus.
200 plus? What?
Yeah, I think it's 2 hours plus.
Oh yeah, right.
John and I spoke about it too, and he was very. I told him we were going to put Andrew's interview on, and he was cool to be on.
Yeah.
Brian O'Neill. Is Pedro Pascal the new Sean Bean? He dies in everything. Game of Thrones, Last of Us, Kingsman 2, Gladiator 2. I bet Reed dies in either Avengers, Doomsday, Secret Wars. Maybe he does. He does like to get crapped out. Yeah, he does like to get crapped out. Yeah.
I have a feeling.
The Richards art. I'm wrong. You are healing Superman. You're not a heel, Rocha. Oh, there you go.
What is that? He misspelled it wrong the first time.
You're healing.
And then he couldn't get my name fully right. It's one extra vowel. Just put that A there. You get it.
I think he said you're healing it. Like you're healing it. You're making it better. Rishi Shukla. Thank you, Rishi. Very kind of you. Agree with Rocha. Gunn loves the intention. He can't help himself. Also, Rocha, I love you, man. But you always underestimate international box office.
Always. Interesting.
Jurassic World can get to 700 without a single additional domestic dollar. Dominion made 625 international and it sucked.
Yeah, but Dominion was the end of a trilogy. This is like Bumblebee and Transformers. This is Hobbs and Shaw. This is in the canon, just like Hobbs and Shaw and Bumblebee are, but they're not. But it's not with the returning situation going on with everybody. So it's not going to be as big of a draw. I'm telling you.
All right, we'll see. Chrome wrote Raigu. Love the content, guys. I was recently watching Law and Order with Vincent, and I noticed young Kristian looking at a young Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I ever got that before, but I'll take it. I like Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Poot Shoot Ryan. Vanessa. Forgot Dawn of the Dead was written by Gunn. I know it was. And then I keep forgetting he did the Scooby-Doo movies too.
Right.
That's great. Monica.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed F1. Was worried about the runtime. Thought I'd be bored. Nah, that movie's impossible to be bored. It's like pure adrenaline.
So much
but
fun.
ended up loving it. Seeing Jurassic later, but y'all got me worried. Fun show today. Been cracking up the whole time. Good. I love hearing
Thanks,
that.
Monica.
I love hearing that. Thank you.
I saw someone on The Ringer be like, "You guys, you didn't like Jurassic World because you guys just don't know how to have fun." It's like everyone's having fun at F1. Everyone's having fun at How to Train Your Dragon, and everyone's having fun at Lilo and Stitch. So cut it out.
That's a lazy excuse. Rashad Green, support for Rocha. There you go.
Rashad.
Brian O'Neill, who says, ever seen the film Intermission? Stars Colin Farrell and Cillian Murphy before they were stars. I don't think so. Highly recommend if you like Irish humor, like in Bruges. No, I never seen. Have you? No, I'm surprised you haven't. Usually know all that stuff.
It's true. It's true.
Javier Reyes, support for the Outlaw.
Thank you, Javier, for not being a crab in a bucket, brother. Appreciate the love.
Food Shoot Riot. R.I.P. Julie McMahon. I read that over the weekend.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I didn't realize that he was sick.
Yeah, cancer.
Terrible.
Nobody did. It was a quiet battle with cancer.
Absolutely terrible. I saw someone post it, and I thought they were being an a-hole about like the Dr. Doom thing or whatever. And then I was like, oh my God, I was horrible. Horrible. I really loved it. I like Julian McMahon. The Lone Phoenix, whose breast stunk up the mics at Clyde? We will never know. Do you know that whole thing?
No, is that something you said? But I can tell you who it is, but it would just be a guess.
No, if you want to guess, you can go ahead and guess. But but across from the way where Roxy used to sit, she used to like go like this, and it was bad. It was bad, but we don't know who it was. Poochu, isn't Ackles already Batman in the animated movies? Yeah, I believe he is.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he is. Okay, Zeus Fleming, Andrew Coyce playing Raiju is great. He was great as the leading warrior, made a great Storm Shadow. There you go.
Yeah, Andrew Koji is a good actor.
I was excited to see it. Special Ed, would you rather live in Los Feliz or Silver Lake? Probably Silver Lake.
Yeah, I'd have to say Silver Lake as well.
Yeah.
Better restaurants.
Richard Art, Sideburn, Dane Cook. Yep. Yeah, it's funny. I laughed pretty hard when he said it. Legend MM600. Great vid. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. A couple left here. Special Ed. My favorite comics are Big J and Dan Soder. How about you? All time? George Carlin, Bill Hicks, and Robin Williams.
I agree with all that.
Yeah.
And Eddie.
Eddie. Eric Kirby. Rocha, the game talked about earlier, also deals with mental health issues very well.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play it. I am a studier of the human condition, so I will play it.
Food Shoot Ryan. Rocha, you got to do a live show reaction after Soups. Probably right.
Yeah, do you think? Go live tonight?
100%. As soon as that embargo drops, you should go live.
Oh, wait, a review or reaction?
Well, he's just talking about your thoughts on the movie. You do a full on Superman thing by yourself. You don't need anybody else on it. You do it by yourself. Guaranteed.
Tonight? You mean tonight? I won't get in trouble. Okay.
No. You can do a reaction. But yeah, you can't go. Tomorrow is where you really have to go.
Right.
Okay. I would just be at a theater today. Tyler, narratives change or forgotten over time. I was an earlier defender of Man of Steel. It was mostly disliked when it came out, probably due to Marvel's lighter tone. That's probably true also.
I love Man of Steel. I'll defend Man of Steel till I'm dead.
Busy Bee, love Busy Bee. In a time when authenticity is lacking in this space, I just wanted to thank the both of you for sticking to your opinions regardless of backlash. Thank you, Busy Bee. I really appreciate that. I think that's why
we're not paid
to do it. Right. Yeah. Ryan Ferris finally saw F1 this week, and following up on the crossover talk from last week, I think I had the best title, F1 Years of Thunder. Please. I like that.
I love that.
I like it a lot. Ryan, also, Kerry Cunnan said clutching at straws in F1. Is that the UK version of grasping at straws? I don't know. Was Eliza in it?
The Irish version of it.
Yeah. I hope that if everybody hasn't seen it already, please go and check it out. I was really happy to show everybody. Anthony Starr would be a perfect reverse Flash, says Nick Alexander. That would be interesting. No? Okay. Busy Bee, support for the stream. Pure entertainment today. Thank you, Busy.
Thank you, Busy.
Terrence F. Sorry, typo. I was saying you can disagree with how Gunn DC is marketing, but still be hopeful. Oh, okay. Well,
we agree with you.
We agree with you. The Rich is Art. I also want to support all the moms out there that are not getting called out in jokes. Hashtag Cougar don't play. Amazing.
I bet you want to support all the moms.
Oh, stop it. Javier Reyes, has Sam seen the Jurassic Park movies? I think she's seen 1 or 2 of them, but not more than that. I started watching them with Sadie. Nobody really cared about the Jurassic Park. We just stopped. We watched the first one and said nobody cares. We did like 10,000. We said that's the end of this. All right. Speaking of the end of this, John, we're done. You did it. You did it.
We got there.
You did it. You're at 126, my friend.
Ooh, not a bad start. I'm sure Roxy and Michael destroy it tomorrow, but
we'll see. You got to get the hell out of here. So tell us.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. You can come hang out, hear more of the stuff we're going to talk about. Geek Buddies coming in about 30 minutes. The new Geek Buddies show. Me and Mike Vogel and Shannon talk about Jurassic World Rebirth and the Superman stuff, how we're looking forward to the week and what's all going to go down. So come and join us for that. My Superman Out of Theater reaction tonight. And then tomorrow, of course, the reviews and everything going on there. It's Bill the Tequila. Thank you so much, Chris, for having me on. At The Rocha Says, youtube.com/John Rocha Says. Peace, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, guys. And thank you to John Rocha for being here. As I said to you, please, we're trying so hard to get that Grasping at Straws to 10,000 views. It's almost there already. It's like we shot it back in 2007 just to show you guys we're putting in so much work, so much time into getting this new script off the ground. We are going to eventually do a Kickstarter for it to shoot it. If you guys want to see it, hopefully it's something you want to do. But go and check out Grasping at Straws, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Thank you to John Rocha. Thank you to Andrew Freed for doing the show here today. Thank you to all of you guys. Appreciate it. I will not be on the show tomorrow. It's going to be Roxy and Mike. The first reviews for and reactions for Superman will definitely be the topic. One of my reaction will be out tomorrow, so make sure you check that out. And then I'll have my review and all that and more. I'm waiting to see when we're going to put Guardians 3 out. I think that I might wait until Wednesday because there's going to be so much Superman stuff tomorrow. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, thank you to everybody. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye.